stocks. The Dow drops 366 points. The S&P also down more than 1%. The Nasdaq down 2% amid investor concern the president's agenda could stall.
They're really weighing their confidence in President Trump's pro-economic growth plan. Tax reform, will it get pushed aside now or at least delayed?
Though Fox Business Network's Lori Rothman also reports this is considered an orderly sell-off after the market's huge gains since the election. At issue is a memo from then FBI Chief James Comey claiming the president urged him to drop a probe of National Security Advisor Michael Flynn the day after Flynn resigned. The new allegation prompting a flurry of activity on Capitol Hill, where Fox's Jared Halpern is live.
The House Oversight Committee has invited James Comey to testify next week.
Now that he is the former director of the FBI, A, let's see if these documents are there, and B, what he would like to say about those.
Committee Chairman Jason Chaffetz in a tweet says he still hasn't spoken with Comey about testifying. Multiple committees are also requesting the FBI produce any memos Comey wrote about communications with the White House and Justice Department reported to detail the president asking the FBI to end an investigation about Flynn. Comey has also been invited to appear in both open and closed sessions with the Senate Intelligence Committee. Lisa.
Well, Jared, the White House denies the details in the report.
The account that was published is not an accurate description of how the event occurred.
Spokesman Sean Spicer on Air Force One after the president's commencement speech today at the U.S. Coast Guard Academy in Connecticut.
You will find that things are not always fair. You will find that things happen to you that you do not deserve and that are not always warranted.
Urging the grads to never give up and not to let the critics get them down. You're listening to Fox News Radio, fair and balanced.
When you're hiring for a growing business, you don't need lots of candidates. You need the right candidates. You need Indeed.com. With an algorithm that positions your job post where quality candidates are and screener questions that help you zero in on the best talent. Indeed.com, the site proven through an independent study to deliver 5 times more hires than any other. New users claim your $50 credit for a sponsored job at Indeed.com/credit. Indeed, the world's #1 job site. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
Here's a little ditty about that John Deere mower deck that mows faster, better. It's not how fast you mow, my friends, it's how well you mow fast. If you just mow fast but your yard looks bad, then you got a lot of ugly grass. You need a John Deere to take care of your yard. You need a Z-Track Z3 45R. It's not how fast you mow, my friends, it's how well you mow fast. The XL deck's got more capacity for yards like yours that get to grassity. Want to mow well in a higher gear? See a John Deere dealer, nothing runs like a deer.
The Secret Service and the State Department helping D.C. police investigate an attack on yesterday's protest over the Turkish president visiting the White House.
A senior U.S. official tells Fox the attackers were members of the Turkish president's security detail, among them his personal bodyguards. Men in black suits working for the Turkish government crossed the street and attacked the Kurdish and Turkish Americans protesting Turkey's attacks on U.S.-backed Kurdish fighters in Syria.
Fox's Jennifer Griffin at the Pentagon. There have been at least 2 arrests. 11 people and a police officer were injured. The U.S. government out with a warning about a test that's supposed to raise a red flag about a health hazard. The CDC and the FDA say certain tests for lead poisoning may not be accurate.
The agency's finding all 4 tests made by Magellan Diagnostics may give results which are too low when used to measure lead levels in blood drawn from a vein. The FDA believes the issue may date back to 2014. Lead exposure is especially dangerous for infants and young children and can cause serious long-term health problems.
Fox's Lillian Wu. The warning says pregnant and nursing women and children under age 6 may need to be retested and should check with healthcare providers. Cracker Barrel settles a lawsuit over accessibility at its restaurants.
The class action lawsuit claimed handicapped parking spots at some Cracker Barrels are too steep, have inadequate signage, or otherwise violate federal law. It was started by Sarah Heinzel from Pittsburgh, a member of the U.S. women's wheelchair basketball team. She says parking spaces at her local Cracker Barrel were so steep she couldn't go there without help. She gets $7,500 in the settlement. Her attorneys get $830,000 for their work on the lawsuit and to make sure the company gets those spaces up to code. Chris Foster, Fox News.
Recapping the Washington-driven plunge on Wall Street, the Dow down 372 as the numbers settle. That's right around 20,607. Lisa Brady, Fox News Radio.
Here's your ESPN Radio 3-day forecast brought to you by Chief Bauer. Trust the experts at Chief Bauer Service Experts to keep you comfortable all year long. Call 866-EXPERTS or you can visit them online at chiefbauer.com. There's your mic. Tonight, partly cloudy, low of 66. Thursday, mostly sunny, high 87, low of 51. Thunderstorms Friday and Saturday. Right now, it is really, really windy.
You think?
Yeah. 82 degrees and cloudy in Champaign-Urbana.
It is the Tay and J Show, ESPN Radio 93.5. Latte, Jeremy Warner. Whew. We knew it all along, right? You knew it all along that Illinois had this in the bag. We are going to talk a lot about Illinois golf today. If you have not heard, it is good news for the Fighting Illini and Mike Small's club, and we'll explain how that happened. It's going to be a fun day. The NBA draft lottery, this proved to me last night that I actually care about my Sixers a little because I was sitting there, I think, cursing at home when the Lakers were not picked at number 4, meaning the Sixers only get one pick. But we'll talk all about that. The Cubbies get it done, and the Cardinals do not against Boston. Another interleague loss to an American League team, which last year haunted them.
Lon, you were in West Lafayette. We had a man.
Was it windy?
We had a man on the scene, and I want you to break it down. But Illinois golf just stayed steady.
They did,
and that's the biggest thing. They got down 6 strokes from the fifth place team, and at the NCAA Regionals, the top 5 teams advance, and they got down 6 strokes, and they were really struggling in the middle of that round. And then all of a sudden, they get to the final 6 holes.
Unreal.
And from 13 to 17,
yep,
they had 6 birdies and 1 bogey. And they just vaulted up the leaderboard. They gained about 10 strokes on all these other teams that in the elements, which were 40-mile-an-hour winds that you'll talk about, all these other teams started to come down. And towards the end, all Illinois had to do was par and bogey.
Yes.
All these other teams are doing double bogeys, triple bogeys, everyone up and down the roster. And Illinois just stays steady. And that's just the heart of a champion. I mean, that is the mindset of a champion. And that's where Mike Small comes into play.
Yep.
That's where all this experience of last year being in this situation, and they end up winning the NCAA Regional.
Crazy.
You know, that experience comes in, and that kind of fortitude comes in, and it's just Mike Small doing it again. Nick Hardy gets medalist honors, goes 3 under, had a phenomenal final 5 holes.
Yes,
where he had
he
2
did.
birdies and 3 pars that clinched it for Illinois. There's nothing more you can say about this Illini golf team. I mean, they are just champs. They are a blue blood. They are what we like. For Illinois golf fans, it's kind of what Kansas basketball fans
That's
are
exactly
like.
right.
It's like every year, they'll find a way.
Yep. They're only missing one thing. And that's the national title. And Mike Small has been so close. 2 words came to mind between when I arrived at the course about 6:50 a.m. Central Time and 11 o'clock Central Time. Steady and frustrating. Yes, they were steady. And at the time, you didn't realize that was going to be the key to vaulting yourself into the finals. You did not realize that because as we're walking around following the 5 golfers, which isn't easy to do, you sat there the whole time saying, guys, you're going to have to do something. You're going to have to make a move. These guys are not coming back to you. And about 10 o'clock Central Time, the winds really picked up. And that's where you started thinking to yourself, all right. And I even told a guy I was with, I said, if Illinois can just stay steady right now, I think everybody could maybe come back to them. I remember saying that, and I texted you, and I said, all right, I'm following Dylan Meyer, this back 9. We're going to get him rolling.
Because Dylan was 4 over through 12 holes.
He was struggling. I was talking to his dad, and his dad was like, you know what? He had just had a 6 on number 10, or 10 or 11, the par 5, and his dad was like, everything is long. Every putt is long. He's like, the first 2 days he couldn't get it to the hole. Now today everything's long. And I'm sitting there thinking, boy, he's struggling. He shoots like 2 over on a 40-mile-an-hour wind day. It's amazing. But it was just the steady and the frustrating. And then hole 15 happened for Dylan Meyer. And this is the funniest thing, because I thought my whole time, like, Mike Small is out there, and if you've never been to a golf match, and there were a lot of Illini fans there, kudos to the fans. If you've never been to a golf match, it is hard to stay up with 5 different guys. Right. I mean, who do you follow? Who do you talk to? How much does Mike Small even talk to? I mean, I don't go to many meets, so I'm not sure how much he actually does this. But in my mind the whole time, now you said Giovanni was the key, and don't get me wrong, he had a great hole. But as that match went on, I said, this Dylan Meyer's the key to me.
Well, I said yesterday, Lipparelli's the key to be solid.
Oh, no, it was Lipparelli,
right?
Yes.
And you're just counting on Hardy and Meyer to be them. And to their credit, Nick Hardy did his job, obviously.
Oh, my goodness.
He's the best golfer out there today.
He medaled. He's the medalist.
Lipparelli and Tadioto did their jobs in this tournament. Both tied for 17th at 6 over. Dylan Meyer was the story of this tournament for Illinois because he was the top-ranked golfer, I think, coming into this thing of most of the golfers. He finished tied for 28th at 8 over. He didn't have a good tournament.
He didn't.
But his final 4 holes were huge.
And that's where 15 comes into play. On 14, he hits one I thought was a great shot. He had a tricky shot over a little indention of water and rocks, and he hits the green. It kind of takes a bad bounce, and he ends up about 35 away, ends up bogeying it. And at that time, I was like, I just don't think this is going to happen. Right. I mean that. In my head, I'm like, this isn't going to happen. And then on 15, I see Mike Small in the fairway on 15, and Myers teeing off. And I thought to myself the whole time, I wonder why Mike won't go talk to Dylan Meyer. And I even asked Jenny Dewar, of course, who does a great job as the SID. I said, does Mike talk to them much? And she's like, well, with regards to Dylan, you just kind of have to gauge how he's playing. Sometimes he doesn't want anybody talking to him. So Mike Small meets, and this was cool. This is important, I think. He meets Meyer on the fairway. Dylan has a great drive. He's got an easy maybe 9 in. And Mike Small talks to him for a little bit. Of course, I'm not close enough to hear what they're saying, but the whole time Dylan Meyer is walking up the fairway, Mike Small is clapping, and he's giving him positive. And then he talks to him a little bit. Dylan Meyer smokes one and hits it. He knocks it within maybe a foot of the pin, birdies, and I thought that was the turning point. Now, no way do the other 4 golfers know what's going on with Dylan Meyer at that point. But that moment on, Illinois just absolutely surged while everybody else fell back. Yeah. And then the next thing you know, Meyer gets to 17. And, everybody was talking about how bad Illinois had done on 17 and 18. You could not believe that is 40-mile-an-hour wind in your face on a tight, and I mean tight par 3 that has water the entire way on the right side. And Dylan Meyer smokes one with about 10 feet away. And if you follow me on Twitter, I posted the video of him knocking in the shot and doing the Tiger Woods fist pump.
That's awesome.
That birdie on 17 and the birdie on 15. And then all of a sudden, I'm just checking my phone. And the next thing you know, Illinois went from 6 back to 2 back. And then you texted me and said, hey. And then all of a sudden, they're in 4th place. It just seemed like, I know it's just a coincidence. It just seemed like when Mike Small talked to Dylan Meyer and he knocked it short or knocked it within a foot, everything changed from that moment on. It was awesome.
And Mike Small likely to join us today.
Yes.
So we'll ask him what he tell Dylan at that point, because that was a game changer.
It was.
For them. And then the rest of the team did really well down the stretch. Now, they did bogey a couple at the end of the round, but all you had to do at the end of this round, given what was happening, the conditions, where you had a bogey and par. If you were par and bogeying, you had a great chance.
You're in great shape.
You look at these scorecards, there are a lot of green, less for Illinois, but you look at some of the other teams' scorecards, there's a lot of black and blue. And that means double, triple, quadruple bogeys on a lot of these holes because of the conditions. And Illinois just didn't falter.
They didn't.
You look at the 5th seed Florida today.
Oh.
The top seed in this NCAA regional, they were tied for 3rd with Purdue going into the day. They shot 24 over and finished in 8th. They're not going to the NCAA championships.
Good, that's one team out of the way.
Was tied for 3rd. They shot 15 over today. New Mexico was leading this thing at 6 under. They shot 22 over and fell behind Illinois. Illinois finishes 3rd.
Yeah.
UNLV had a heck of a tournament.
They did.
They must be used to the wind out there in Vegas. But they had a heck of a tournament. Auburn finishes 2nd, but Illinois finishes 3rd. They're going to their 10th straight NCAA championships.
Unbelievable.
With a phenomenal comeback, first round. And this is just the hallmark of a Mike Small program where you think, this is the rebuild. Yep. And midway through it, we're all thinking that.
Yes.
Right? All good things come to an end. All streaks come to an end. This is the year. Maybe it is the rebuilding year. No.
It's not.
And today it was all about survive and advance. right? I mean, this is a bad conditions. You survived it. Doesn't matter what you scored in the NCAA regional. Now you go into 30 teams.
Everything's clean.
And you try and win the NCAA championship.
And it's here in your state.
And this team, when they play well,
yes,
they have as good of a chance as anybody.
I would agree.
You see Meyer and Hardy to play well, and Liparelli and Tadioto. You feel great about those two.
I was
after
so impressed with them. And not only to be impressed with kids that are freshmen and sophomores, I understand Meyer and Hardy are the juniors. They're not going to get rattled. Those two from freshman year on have been in these big moments. For the freshmen and this, like Giovanni and the sophomore and Liparelli, for those guys to just continue to trudge on, they were leading this team for a while. If you take Nick Hardy out, I mean, Nick Hardy was unbelievable the whole tournament, the whole day. But again, just the thought of 11 o'clock Central Time, I'm thinking to myself, this team isn't going to make it.
Right.
The next thing you know, about 1:15 Central Time, Illinois shoots the best score of the day at 6 over.
Yep.
That's what's amazing about this team.
Second best score was 8 over today by UNLV.
It's crazy. And Mike Small,
Auburn, sorry.
I would love to ask Mike, and it's got to be hard because he's been around so many great teams, so many great moments. But I want to ask him, what was today? What's the satisfaction today in knowing that your team midway through that round really didn't have any right to be advancing, and the next thing you know, you're in third place and you're moving on to the finals? I bet he's really super proud of this team.
Isn't it amazing on a sports show where we focus on football, basketball,
yes,
baseball, the major sports?
Yep.
That every May we are sitting here devoting huge chunks of this show to Illini golf.
And everybody loves it.
Yeah, well, it's deserved.
Yes.
I mean, this is a golf school right now.
It is. That's the pilot program.
It is a total golf school, and we need to go up to Rich Harvest Farms and cover this NCAA tournament.
Yes, we do. I would agree with you 100%, and we can stay there the whole time if you want.
Starts Friday, May 26th, next Friday.
Okay. That might be tricky since I've got 4 graduations to attend. But listen, we'll work this out. Out.
Are they going to make it through the weekend?
That's the thing. We might have to, you know what? We may just have to tell everybody, I'm sorry, I'm not going to make it. I'm sending money to your kid. That's all that matters.
I can go up to there, and you can be back here if you want.
I think I want to be there.
I need to get up to Sugar Grove, man.
I want to be there, man. No, I think we do have to. I mean, this is in Illinois.
Got to do what Oregon did last year, right?
Exactly.
What Oregon? They were, 7th or something in the country last year?
I think that's right.
They ended up winning it, and Illinois right now is 7th-ranked team in the country.
I had a little bit of a frustration today, too. Sometimes, I mean, I'm a pretty happy guy. You know me. Every once in a while, I get this little frustration with myself, and I get a little mad at just the world. And for about 5 minutes today, I'm like, this is going to be crap. If Purdue ends up the 5th team in this, and Illinois is the 6th team, and they edge us on their home course, I'm like, this is not going to be fair. But then Purdue, absolutely, I can't believe they made it. Because the way they just showed
can thank Florida.
That they can thank Florida. And, of course, Florida was 3 holes cumulative behind Illinois and Purdue, and that made all the difference with that win.
Yeah, so once Illinois edged out Purdue, you knew they had clinched the thing. But it's amazing.
That was fun, man.
Yeah, I mean, what was the experience like being there?
It's cool. And I had gone 2 years ago over in Noblesville, so I was very fortunate to go there. It is just great. It's free parking. It's free entrance. You walk around wherever you want. You kind of have to understand golf, right? You're not going to run on the green. You're not going to walk in front of these guys. But Jeremy, to watch these kids that are so talented in those conditions, and I'll tell you the one shot probably that impressed me more than any, and which sounds goofy after his approach on 17 or tee off on 17 that ended up in a birdie on the par 3. On number 18, Dylan Meyer hits one left into the sand, hits a 3-wood out of the sand, or at least a hybrid. It goes straight up in the air and to the right, and it only advances maybe 100 yards.
Yeah.
And he's still a hybrid out from the green. Now, any other day, he's probably using a 7-iron. But the wind was that strong, he's got to hit a hybrid. And I thought to myself, this is a really tricky shot because on the left is OB, on the right are about 6 pot bunkers.
Yeah.
And then the green in the middle. And he absolutely hits a hybrid right on pin. Now, he ends up about 20, 30 feet behind the pin, but it was right on it. I'm like, how do you do that?
Which, if you see Nick Meyer, he's got a little bit of a baby face, but he's a big, strong kid.
Yes. Wait, Nick
Hardy.
Nick Hardy, yes.
Dylan Meyer is like 5'8", skinny, 110 pounds. And you see him hitting the ball.
He makes my son look huge.
I know. I mean, that you see him hit the ball, and you're like, dang.
He just hits it perfect, and he hits it straight. And I'd read a story
his
about
putting that was struggling.
His putting was struggling, and really a lot of the Illini early on in that. Terry French, who's the great coach of Bismarck in golf, he was over there as well. He and I followed around quite a bit, but then we broke up a little bit, and when we kind of converged back again after 17, he's like, man, they just cannot make a putt. They were missing 10-foot putts, and Purdue was knocking them in, and the frustration frustration level just started to go through the roof. And then all of a sudden, within about 30 minutes, Illinois went from not making it to we're in great position.
Yeah, so now it's in Sugar Grove,
awesome.
which is close to DeKalb, and not that far out of Chicago. 45 minutes west of Chicago. I wonder how much orange and blue is actually.
I hope there's a lot.
I hope there is too, and that's why I want to be there. Is because I've followed this team, haven't really gotten a chance to cover them live.
Exactly.
And this is a program that absolutely deserves it. And I think for Illini fans who buy into this hashtag We Will Win, Illinois golf's been there for a decade.
That's the perfect example.
And now they're here and they're really close to you. I think you should go watch them. If you have time off, you can take Friday off a little early and go see this team. I think it'd be great to show this program and Mike Small your support because they have made this program when everything else has been so down.
That's
cloudy
so true.
and gloomy. This has been the beacon, right? I mean, there's other programs that have done well.
Oh, sure.
We talked about softball and tennis and wrestling and volleyball, but this golf program is what every other program here aspires to be.
That's exactly right. And if you want further proof, Nick Hardy, I see him about maybe 4 holes in. He puts his bag on the ground, shakes my hand, and says, "Thanks for coming over, man."
Yeah.
I mean, that's the kind of kids you're dealing with here. That's super. I mean, it made me feel good, because I know they've been on our show, and it's just one of those where I'm like, "Hey, Nick, good luck today, man." And of course, I don't think he didn't need it.
He was the one yesterday that said, "We're not going home.
We're not going home." And you and I talk about him.
He's got it.
Yes, he does.
Dylan's really good.
Yes.
Dylan can be. It's weird because Dylan kind of has this consistency thing, right?
Yes, he
Where
does.
Luke Guthrie had it. Nick's a little more streaky, but Nick just turns it on for these big events.
The bigger the moment is what he lives for, and he proved it today.
He won Big Ten medalist as a freshman, didn't he?
Yes.
And he won one of the biggest matches that year.
Yeah, he had that putt that year to get him to the championship, I think, right? Or he had to make it to force an extra hole, and he drills like a 15-foot sidewinder. I mean, it's unbelievable what Nick Hardy has in him. So it's awesome. These kids are great, and I can't say enough about Liparelli played great. Giovanni played great. Fiegels even, he shot 79 today. And
the back 9, he was really good.
Isn't that unreal?
He shot a quad on 6, though. So if he wouldn't have shot that quad, he would have had, if he would have had a par there, scored, he and Meyer would have been the same score.
That's crazy. And that's what you talk about. You brought it up one time, and it's true. They're so deep that fifth guy for Illinois, where a lot of teams, the fifth guy doesn't come into play, because basically you have 5 guys play, you take the top 4 scores during the round. That fifth guy for Illinois is normally knocking on the door to where you basically have 5 scores.
If somebody has a bad round, you got a solid round to replace it.
He's there.
Fiegels, didn't have a great tournament.
No, he didn't.
Didn't have a great tournament here, but that's going to be key for them in the NCAA championship, so that if somebody has a bad round, if somebody's solid, if you're shooting 4 over for the day, you can put that score instead of a 7 over or something.
Boom. Well, it's fun, and I hope you get a chance to do it, because it's fun to walk around with those guys and see greatness. It really is, and it almost teases you, because we get to see football games, we get to see basketball games. You can go watch a baseball game, you can go watch gymnastics, softball, and that's great. I'm not saying anything about that. You just never get a chance to watch the best program at Illinois, and when you do, and if you have a chance, it is so great to see these kids trot around that course and just dominate it.
We'll talk some Cubs. The bats get going with the wind.
Ooh, sometimes Austin's smiling again.
Sometimes you just got to pop it up and wriggly, and it heads out. That's what last night was. Get it in the air, and it heads out. 7 home runs hit last night between the Reds and Cubs. The Cubs got 4 of them. The Cardinals' defense continues to be an issue. The Warriors Spurs, I turned it on after I put the kid to bed, and it was already 41-19 or something like that.
I think it was 52-16 or something when I looked. I was like, yep, that one's done.
And the NBA draft lottery, we'll break that down. Who goes where? The Celtics and Lakers get 1 and 2.
I did like seeing Magic. I like that dude.
Yeah.
I like seeing him just smile.
Got a big old smile. He's got that going for him.
He did.
And how this affects the Bulls will be interesting as well. If you want to weigh in, 359-2255. That's 217-359-2255. You can call us on the Jupiter's The Crossing phone line or text the Cheap Hour text line. That's 359-2255. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Just search Tay and J Show. I tweet at J Warner Scout.
I've got breaking news. Coach Small at 405.
There you go.
All right, I'm at Lonte, ESPN CU. If you follow that, at Lonte, ESPN CU, you see Dylan Meyer do the fist bump.
That was good. That was a good shot, man.
He wasn't bad, right?
Taking him back to the day.
Everybody's like, man, you're kind of shaky. I'm like, it's 58 miles an hour wind.
And it's not like you got like
no, I don't have a tripod with me.
Schultz camera
right.
over there.
Oh, and Craig was there.
Yeah.
And he had a perfect view of that birdie on 17, so you're going to see that on Channel 3 tonight. But you're right, it's a little windy.
You can watch us live on YouTube. Just search Tay and J Show. Download the WSJK app. Get our podcast at ESPNCU.com or find us on iTunes. That's all powered by GTPS Insurance. Our producer today, Austin Berkland. He'll have an update coming up, and Harry Black is here as well. They're both pumped about LeGarrette Blount.
What is going on?
They're raising their 5th straight off-season championship banner.
Oh, he's going to the Eagles?
He's going to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, boy. We should have led with that, guys. I apologize. That's our fault. It is the Tay and J Show.
The sounds of spring and the smell of flowers in the air. They all add up to Spring Green, America's neighborhood lawn care team. That lush green lawnscape is a result of a reputation earned through consistent performance. They become your favorite through quality service and professionalism. Spring Green will service and maintain your lawnscape with seeding, aeration, fertilizing, weed reduction, disease, and insect control. Now the ease and trouble-free convenience of Spring Green's professional lawn care's full program is yours at savings of 20% for new customers. It's backed by their guarantee of satisfaction. Over 32 years of satisfied customers reflect their commitment to Champaign-Urbana and the Mattoon-Charleston area. Call Spring Green at 217-359-2111 or online at spring-green.com at 217-359-2111.
It's warming up around Champaign-Urbana, and that means it's time to get outside and ride in a Polaris off-road vehicle. And the best time to buy is during the Polaris Spring Sales event. You'll find great financing, plus rebates up to $2,000. You'll even get a free 2-year extended warranty on any full-size Ranger or any Sportsman 450 or 570 ATV. See your Polaris dealer now. Offers valid through May and vary by model. No charge for promotional 2-year extended warranty. See dealer for details. Off-road vehicles can be hazardous to operate. Always wear a helmet and take a safety training course.
Hey, this is Brad again with Kramer Siding and Window Company, and for over 60 years, we've been providing worry-free home improvements. If you've thought about either siding, windows, maybe you need to replace that roof, how about a deck, a pergola, awnings? We also have the 4-season sunrooms and screen rooms, or the gutter helmet. If any of those home improvements are in your near future, call us right now at Kramer Siding or stop by our beautiful showroom at 708 North Country Fair Drive.
Here's what's coming up tomorrow with the Prize Guy and friends on Q96.
Guidance, trust, protection, service. It's the mantra of GTPS Insurance. When you work with GTPS, you'll never have to call an 800 number in a different state. You deal with people who live and work in our community and know it's important to your business. GTPS is your local source for business insurance, property, general liability, workers' compensation, and group health insurance, and they'll work with you to formulate the best package for the needs of you and your business. Contact a GTPS insurance agent today at 359-9000 or visit online at gtpsinsurance.com.
This is Eric Bolin with Provident Financial Group. Are you getting the attention you deserve from your broker? When you partner with Provident, you get an advisor who stays focused on you and your family. We work for you. Contact us today to schedule a consultation. Find us online at ProvidentFinancialGroupLLC.com. Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network.
Provident, partnerships built on trust.
Member FINRA, SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
When you're heading home, Tay and J are on your way talking sports. Weekday afternoons 3 to 6 here on ESPN Radio 93.5.
Hello, I'm Austin Berkland with your 3:30 Sports Center update brought to you by Prairie View Landscaping. Email mypbdiscount@gmail.com for a free quote. That's mypbdiscount@gmail.com. They did it, Tess. Oh, my. What a comeback.
Nice.
What a comeback the Illini Golf put on. They started the day in 6th place and 5 shots back, but with timely pars and birdies, Illinois is officially headed to the NCAA Finals with a final score of plus 14. Nick Hardy led the Illini shooting 1 under par. This is the Illini's 10th straight time advancing to the NCAA Finals. Finals are taking place in Sugar Grove, Illinois at the Rich Harvest Farms Golf Course, May 26th through the 31st. Hey, the Cubs bats came alive last night in a 95 win over the Cincinnati Reds. Ian Happ, Kyle Schwarber, Anthony Rizzo, and Addison Russell all went deep for the Cubs. Joe Madden collected his 1,000th career victory as manager. The Reds and Cubs meet again tonight at 7:05, and it's Scott Feldman versus Kyle Hendricks as the pitching matchup. Listen to the game on our sister station, US 105.9. The Cardinals fell to the Boston Red Sox 6-3 from Busch Stadium yesterday evening. Mookie Betts and Jackie Bradley Jr. both went deep for the Sox. Tonight, it's last year's AL Cy Young winner Rick Porcello taking on the NL ERA leader Mike Leake. Listen to the game right here on ESPN CU 93.5. Pre-game starts at 6:25. First pitch, 7:15. Hey, the White Sox didn't allow a Mike Trout home run last night, so consider that a small victory. In last night's 7-6 11-inning loss to the Angels, they line up again tonight in Los Angeles. It's Gonzalez versus Shoemaker for a late 9:07 first pitch. And breaking news, guys, the Eagles have signed running back LeGarrette Blount to a one-year deal. Giants and Cardinals both showed interest in the 30-year-old running back. Blount scored 18 touchdowns last year for the New England Patriots.
He scored 6 this year.
That, my friends,
LeGarrette Blount is the Philadelphia Eagle. LeGarrette Blount is the Philadelphia Eagle, kids. All right.
So is this team going to be better than that Dream Team when they signed all those big names?
I think so. Could they have Westbrook and T.O. back in the day? And oh, yeah, that was some good stuff there. Randall Cunningham.
That was a while ago.
I know. I'm just throwing out random Eagles.
Reggie White.
Brian Dawkins. Yeah, Reggie White. All right, it's the Tay and J Show. Lante, Jeremy Warner. Illinois advances. We'll hear from Mike Small at 4:05 today, and even more breaking news. You and I laughed about this, but the entire golf team is coming in tomorrow to chat with us.
That's awesome. Yeah, we got a text. Hey, do you want the whole team in studio tomorrow? We're like, wait. Then we sat there and talked about it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. We'll put Lipparelli against Giovanni, and we'll ask him questions about Belgium and Italy, or
who's better. Like, yeah,
we'll get a little war going here.
Yeah, we need to figure out how to test these two. I mean, we could just ask them simple questions like, "What's your favorite American food?"
Yeah,
or
that'd be boring, right?
Music. I think it'd be interesting, but then we could say, give us a fact about Belgium.
I like it.
Belgium. You got me thinking that.
I know. See, that's my fault.
He's a Belgian from Belgium. But we should try and get a war going between Italy and Belgium.
Like, what is better about Italy than Belgium?
Yeah,
we'll just get that going. Now,
we
then,
should
of course,
have a debate.
Yes.
Why is Belgium better than Italy?
And then in the meantime, Nick Hardy will just be standing there all stoic because that's what he does. Yeah. And then Dylan Meyer will be all goofy and
we should ask him about his DJ abilities.
Yes.
He's a big DJ.
That's his Twitter handles, at DJ D-Funk or something. So, good stuff.
So the NBA draft lottery happens last night.
Ticked me off. You
still ended up with the number 3 pick.
I know. That's pretty good,
thank
right?
Sam Hinkie for that.
Right.
So the Sixers end up with the number 3 pick. You did have the number 1 pick last year.
Yeah,
so it's not like you'd never win these things.
I'll quit whining.
But the Celtics and Lakers, number 1 and number 2.
How life has changed.
This is pretty fun, though, for the NBA.
Yes.
I don't think the NBA rigs this thing. I really don't, because even though this is the best thing that could happen for the NBA.
That's funny how you ask it that way. I don't think.
This is the best thing that could happen for the NBA. But if that were the case, wouldn't the Lakers have won when Karl Anthony Towns was the pick?
Yes.
Wouldn't they rather have had, Dwight Howard at somewhere else other than Orlando?
Although we did find out at the Oscars or whatever that these accounting firms that handle these, sometimes they accidentally mess up. But I'm assuming the Ernst & Young lady did her job, and it's not fixed. That's what I'm going to assume. I'm going to go with that it's not fixed. It is funny, though, and a big part of our listeners, Jeremy, a big part are my age, that lived 80s basketball when the Celtics and Lakers were the 2 best teams in basketball. On occasion, the Sixers would sneak up, or the Rockets all of a sudden. But back then, if you would have told me, all right, 20-some years from now, these will be maybe 2 of the worst I know the Celtics aren't anymore.
Right. I mean, this is just good GMing by Danny Ainge.
Great.
Terrible GMing by an ownership of the Brooklyn Nets. I mean, they traded all these picks and the rights to swap picks this year. That's what that was. For old Kevin Garnett, old Paul Pierce, and old Jason Terry.
They went for it. Brooklyn went for it.
And they totally failed.
They did. And now Boston's got their pick next year too, right?
Which is going to be a top 3 pick.
Wow. So here you've got the Celtics 1, Lakers 2 in the draft. And it works well for the Lakers, right? And Lonzo Ball. Isn't that the guy that they probably wanted all along?
I would think so. I know Lonzo, and especially his dad, want to stay in L.A., and it'd bring back a lot of Showtime Lakers.
It would.
I mean, the comparison he gets, Lonzo, because he's not a great shooter, is Magic. Now, he's not as big as Magic,
sure,
but he's that kind of player that at UCLA, that was a winning team,
right?
Largely because of him. They took a huge leap this year. Even though he's not a great shooter, he's got a weird shot, but he's got a lot of Jason Kidd.
That's cool.
To his game.
That's
and
cool.
you add that to Julius Randle, Brandon Ingram, D'Angelo Russell. We'll see if they hold on to him. That's an interesting young team. But now Boston, which is loaded with depth, now they have a chance to add a superstar, whether it's with the number 1 pick, and a lot of people think it'll be Markelle Fultz, because they think they can play alongside Isaiah Thomas. He's a do-everything guard that most people say has no weaknesses, except he didn't lift Washington to the NCAA tournament, much like Ben Simmons, but the talent is undeniable with Markelle Fultz. So you could put that with him, or they can use it in a trade for a guy like Jimmy Butler or a guy like Paul George.
If you were able to do that, if your boss, let me ask you this, because I honestly don't know. If you're able to use that pick in a trade for a guy like George or Jimmy Butler, that's better than drafting Markelle Fultz, right?
Depends. The Celtics, what is their window?
Okay.
And as I see it, their window is the next 3 to 5 years.
So that would be, if you could add a Jimmy Butler or a Paul George.
I would do it for Jimmy Butler.
I would too. I would too.
The number 1 pick I know has a lot of esteem. Markelle Fultz could be a superstar.
Sure.
I don't think it's going to be for a couple years. And he's not exactly what you need. Jimmy Butler is exactly...
You know what he is.
Exactly what they need.
Exactly.
A two-way player who can score alongside Isaiah Thomas. That's where they start to struggle. Avery Bradley is a great 2-guard.
Right.
But he's kind of like your 3rd or 4th option. Right now, he has to score like your 2nd option. Al Horford is a very good, solid overall center, but he's your 2nd option. You need a better player, and Jimmy Butler and Isaiah Thomas could be one of the best duos in the league. If I'm the Bulls, though, it takes more than the number 1 overall pick.
I agree.
In this draft.
I agree.
For Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler's a top 12 player. And Markelle Fultz could be phenomenal. Lonzo Ball could be phenomenal. But those guys aren't givens.
No.
Right? It's not like you have LeBron James as the number 1 pick. It's not like you even have, Karl Anthony Towns.
Exactly.
As the number 1 pick in this draft. Those guys are good, but you're hoping they're as good as Jimmy Butler. For me, if I'm the Bulls, the only way I'm trading Jimmy is for the number 1 overall pick, a player on their roster, whether it's Marcus Smart, Jay Crowder, Avery Bradley, and the Brooklyn pick next year. And I doubt Boston will do that.
Okay.
So I just don't think it's going to happen.
It'll be interesting. Well, so here's the other point. Does any of the above, either they trade for Jimmy Butler or they just go with Fultz, et cetera, does any of that mean they can beat Cleveland in the next 2 or 3 years if Cleveland stays how they are?
A lot of people talk about this, like Bulls fans out there. Like, what's the point of keeping Jimmy Butler, right? Isn't it about winning championships? And yes, at its core, it is about that. But everyone thinks like it's a failure if you don't win a championship.
Yeah, I know.
Hasn't Boston had a very successful year?
Yes.
I thought Houston had a very successful year.
Good call.
San Antonio, Washington.
Yep.
Those teams... Those Derrick Rose years, like the year they made the Eastern Conference Finals, that was a successful year.
It's a great year.
The year they got to the second round and took a 3-1 lead
on Cleveland.
Or 2-1 lead. I thought that was a successful year given that team. If you're contending and you have Boston is close.
Yes.
And if LeBron gets injured, they have a chance to make the finals.
Agree.
Or they can load up on a team that maybe they're the team that finally knocks them out. Or maybe LeBron falls off after 3 years and they have a roster that can be the Chicago Bulls, the Detroit Pistons, the Pistons to the Celtics is a better thing back in the 80s.
Right, good
the
call.
Pistons were coming up as the Celtics were going down, and all of a sudden they're there and they're the best team in the East. I don't think if you don't make the finals or don't beat LeBron, like it's a failure. Like there's no point of doing
Fair
that.
enough.
But yes, I think they'd be by far the second best team in the East and at least have a chance to contend to make an NBA final.
How did last night affect the Bulls? Did it at all?
Well, it's about the Jimmy Butler.
It's about that with Jimmy Butler with regards to trading for him if that could happen. But otherwise, probably the Celtics take Fultz, the Lakers probably take Lonzo Ball, and then the Sixers.
Now, if you went by need, Malik Monk makes a lot of sense.
That's the kid from Kentucky, right?
Because they need shooters.
Okay.
They need some shooters. They also could probably use a point guard. But
yeah, they could.
The next best player in the draft, I I might even think this guy might be better than Lonzo Ball, is Josh Jackson.
Yes.
Two-way forward, can shoot pretty well. He needs to get better at that, but a really good athlete, long, works his butt off. I think he could be a great two-way player in this league, like Paul George, or like Jimmy Butler. I mean, that doesn't fit your exact need, but if you want the best talent,
right?
It's just how does he fit with Okafor, Embiid,
Simmons,
Saric. Okafor's probably going to get dealt.
I agree. I agree.
You're big up front. You need some guards.
You do.
But you also want to take the best talent. So I think Jason Tatum's a heck of a player.
I would be fine with that.
De'Aaron Fox, the point guard out of Kentucky. I think you get to the top 6 picks, I think are really, really good in this draft. Then you get a little bit of a fall off maybe after that, but this is a top-heavy draft.
When your name's on the radio show, then you can talk about your favorite team, the Sixers. Otherwise, there's not one other person in Central Illinois that cares. The Kings did have a solid one where they get the 5 and the 10.
They'll screw it up, though.
I was going to say, they'll mess that up somehow, won't they? Well, it'll be interesting. It's always fun to watch that lottery. What I like about it is everybody has fun with it.
It's a good TV show.
And there's such a mishmash of personalities there.
I don't know if the lottery does the job it is intended to do. I mean, today Mark Cuban was on the Dan Patrick show and said we tanked at the end of the year. Like an owner is admitting we tried to lose games.
Wow.
And now it's not like, hey, missed this shot. It's we're going to play young guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And we're going to try to lose games, and they get the 9th pick in the draft instead of the 12th or the 13th. And they get a better chance at a pick. I can't blame him for that. Teams are still tanking. Right? At Houston, they were tanking to get Hakeem Olajuwon.
Absolutely.
All those teams are trying to do that. That's why they put in the rule, and then Patrick Ewing is the number 1 pick the next year in the lottery. It still doesn't. It doesn't stop people because people want more of a chance to get that top pick.
That is exactly
those
right.
top 3 picks. But it is a fantastic TV show.
It is.
I'll give him that.
I love that you've got like Pat Williams, who was the former GM. I think he's still probably in the front office for the Magic. That 25 years ago he was the guy that got lucky to get Shaq, and then
Twice
you've got
in a row.
Oh, that's right.
They got Shaq.
That's right.
And they were like the 7th
and Penny,
pick,
right?
And then the next year they got the number 1 pick. Drafted Weber, traded him to Golden State for Penny Hardaway.
That's right. And then you've got like Joel Embiid there for the Sixers. I just love all the mismatch of different. You've got you've got actual NBA All-Star or stars, and then you've got GMs or former GMs. It's just kind of fun to watch it, and it's kind of a surreal show to watch. But everything kind of the ping pongs fell correctly, I guess, with the Celtics, Lakers, and then Sixers.
The interesting thing about this draft will be is there a superstar that changes the league?
Good call.
Like. Because I think Lonzo Ball could be really good with the Lakers, and that feels like it could be, a guy that has a brand, obviously right now, but there's some showtime there, right? Markelle Fultz, people don't know as much about, but it's a guards league. Can he be a top-of-the-line point guard, or is he just kind of in that mix of right now you got guys, that are really good point guards like John Wall.
Right.
Is he in that mix, or is he going to be a superstar in this league? I don't know if you have superstars in this league, but you got some 6 players who could be really, really good.
I don't think the Spurs beat the Warriors with Kawhi, but last night that was ugly.
136 to 100.
That was ugly. I mean, the Warriors were hitting everything, which doesn't help either way. But
they are ridiculously good.
They are.
They're better than last year.
I agree with you.
The regular season record wasn't there, but
that thing's over, right? I mean, it's 2-0. It's not even close. I mean, if Kawhi plays Game 3.
San Antonio knew it.
Yes.
And that's what was weird about a Popovich team. Felt like it quit within the first 5 minutes of that game last night. And now we'll see if Boston gives Cleveland a run. But if you get Boston in a series with the Warriors, there's no chance.
I kind of changed my mind, too. I was watching the start of that last night when they were, and what I mean by the start is the pregame. When they were talking about the closeout, and I forget his name, that closed out on Kawhi Leonard.
Zaza Pachulia.
And they talked about how, I can't remember the guy. Mark Jackson said, I think it's a dirty play. And I'm like, come on, because I didn't think so. But he explained how he closed out once, and then he took the additional closeout step, which is what Kawhi ended up dropping on. And he's like, that has to change in the NBA. But I don't know how you change it.
The Warriors did it to the Spurs.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, how do you change? It happens all over. It's just, it's a freak that, how many times does a guy jump during a game and not land on a foot? Have you ever thought of that? You know how many times you've gone up for a rebound and there's 10 feet below you and somehow you don't land on a foot? It's kind of a freak thing when you do.
I don't know. Debating what his intent was.
Right. That's hard to do.
Like Draymond last year, that was easy to see.
Yes.
He's trying to hit people in the nads.
Right.
Right? Like this.
Not just trying, he was doing it.
He was closing out. If he did that perfectly, That is an expert at
No
getting
doubt.
his foot under somebody to turn an ankle.
Kudos to him for figuring out how to do that correctly.
And in the end, they might have won game one.
Right.
The Spurs aren't winning this series.
Not at all. Not at all. All right, the Cubbies, they started getting hot with the bats last night. Will it continue? We can talk some Cardinals and Cubs when we return. If you want to weigh in, 217-359-2255. That's the Jupiter's The Crossing phone line or the Cheap Hour text line.
We also have 2 pairs of tickets to give away to the Cardinals-Giants on Friday night. And you also get a hat voucher.
This is the Illini
It's
day.
Illini night. You'll get an Illini hat with the St. Louis Cardinals. Lovie Smith is going to be at the game. I don't know if he's throwing out the first pitch.
Okay.
But Illini night, we have 2 pairs of tickets. We'll give away a couple pairs of Cardinals tickets for Friday night.
I've never been proud of myself, but if you get that hat and you don't want it, I'll take it. We'll take it right here in the studio. We'll prominently display that on our YouTube, which you can watch, by the way, if you go to YouTube and search Tay and J Show. If you want, you can know that that is the hat that you won and you brought into the studio, and forever you can tell your friends that. Was that a pretty good pitch?
Rather have a hat.
I just want the hat. It is the Tay and J Show.
Winter, spring, summer, or fall. All you have to do is call Matex Heating and Cooling to take advantage of Train's Weather Any Season sale. Weather Any Season sale. Choose between special financing for 6 years or special trade-in allowances on qualifying Train systems. Call 355-9700 or visit us online at mattexservice.com for more information. It's hard to stop a train. Any season, any weather. Matex Heating and Cooling, servicing East Central Illinois.
Subject to credit approval. Call for details.
At Lowe's, we know that pros need to be ready. Ready to roll felt, ready to cap, ready to shingle. And during Lowe's Ready to Raise the Roof event, pro customers should get ready to save big with up to 20% on GAF shingles every day when they buy in bulk. Plus, now through May 25th at Lowe's, pros can save up to 30% off select Hitachi nailers and pneumatic accessories. See the Pro Desk in store for details. Shingle offer applies to contractor packs. Selection varies by store, U.S. only.
If you run your own business, when you're not on the job, you're on the road. In your van. Signs that say detour and do not enter are just plain bad for business. Well, here's a sign that's great for business. It says 0% financing and up to 2 years complimentary scheduled maintenance on Mercedes-Benz Sprinter or Metris vans. Powerful, capable, and affordable. That's Mercedes-Benz Van Power. With pioneering safety technologies and low total cost of ownership, Mercedes-Benz vans are the right choice for your business. Check out the full lineup of Mercedes-Benz vans starting at just $25,995. 0% financing and up to 2 years complimentary scheduled maintenance. That's van power for all. Mercedes-Benz. Vans. Born to run.
Starting ad price refers to base model Metris worker cargo van. Excludes all options, taxes, title, registration, transportation charge, and dealer prep fee. Please see your dealer or go to mvvans.com for further details and exclusions.
You want what's best for your family, and what's better than a home equity loan or line of credit with no closing costs? Apply for a home equity loan or line at First Financial Bank before June 3rd, and you'll pay no closing costs. Remodel the house, get a pool for the kids, buy a new car, take a vacation. Whatever your family needs, your home's equity can make it happen, and First Financial makes it affordable. What could be better than that? Offer subject to credit approval. Property insurance required. Valid on applications before June 3rd. Other restrictions may apply. See first-online.com/equity for details. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
From buyers and sellers inspections before the sale, protect your future with AA Marshall Home Inspection Services. We also provide radon testing with results back in 48 hours. From Champaign to Savoy and Gifford to Gibson City, protect your future with AA Marshall Home Inspection Services. Get more details and schedule your inspection today at aamarshall.net.
When you're heading home, Tay and J are on your way talking sports. Weekday afternoons 3 to 6 here on ESPN Radio 93.5.
All right, Illini golf fans, Mike Small, Illinois head golf coach, of course, not that you needed that. He's going to join us about 4:05. He's driving back from West Lafayette. A happy man today. All smiles, I would assume, as his Illini golf team, they survive and advance. That's a big thing to do in the NCAA regionals. So now they punch a ticket to the finals, which is right here in the state of Illinois, and that's next weekend. So this will be fun for Illinois, but we'll have a chance to talk to Coach Small, and can't wait to visit with him about what all happened today with the crazy conditions.
Ian Happ goes yard for the second time already in his short stint 2 home runs for him. Rizzo, Schwarber, Russell also went deep.
Wow.
Cubs smashed 4 home runs, 9-5 win over the Reds.
Nerf ball.
Joe Madden became the 63rd manager to win 1,000 games.
That's impressive. I heard that. Congratulations.
I have a list.
Oh, no, you don't.
I do.
Do you really?
Yep.
All right.
He's got a list. Jeremy has got a list. He's got a list. Jeremy has got a list. 'Cause we love to go through lists just to mess with the lawn.
I got nothing for you. That 4:30 wake-up call.
Did your kid wake you up at 4:30 in the morning, too?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
No.
You woke your kid up.
What was funny is I tweeted out and you retweeted it or favorited it immediately. I'm like, oh, that's right. Jeremy's got a kid at home. He's awake.
All right, so Joe Madden became the 8th active manager to reach 1,000 wins.
8th active manager?
Yes. Name the 7 other active managers.
Oh, no.
Who have 1,000 wins.
And before anybody in your car just starts saying, boy, line is stupid, it's so hard to think of this stuff when can I bring in Austin?
I will give you, look up the MLB standings page.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
You can look at the teams so you can think of some of the managers.
Sosha on there?
I don't want to bring in your Cola friend quite yet.
The Giants.
You said Sosha?
Yeah.
Sosha is right.
Giants. we got the Giants manager. What the heck? Come on, Lonnie. Can't think of his name.
Giants manager. It's alliteration. Double B. What's his name?
Oh, not Bob Brindley. What is his name?
It's Bruce Bochy.
That's it, Bruce Bochy. All right, so he's on. Let me think here.
I need
Joe Madden.
Well, I already gave you Joe Madden.
I can't pull up the standings. Hold on.
So far, 8 active managers. You got Madden, Bochy, and Sosha.
Okay. All right, I got the standings up almost. Let me look through here. Come on. How about, John Farrell? No, there's no way.
There's a guy in here who used to coach John Farrell's team.
Man, I'm bad at this stuff. I'm bringing in Austin. Can I?
You're already phoning a friend? You got
phoning
3 of them. Can you get half of them?
I'm trying. All right, now the standings are up. All right, let me look here. It would be the kid for the Yankees. No, he hasn't done it long enough.
Girardi's only been coaching for 10 years.
He hasn't done it long enough. No. I'm going through here. No. Hargrove, he's not there anymore. Jimmy Leland, he's not there anymore. No.
This is fun.
No, I'm sitting here saying no to all these teams. Texas, no. Washington.
You've passed up
Dusty Baker.
That's
Yes!
4. You passed up the AL Central.
Oh, I passed up the AL Central.
There are 2 managers in the AL Central with 1,000 wins.
John Kelly or whatever. Didn't he used to coach the Twins?
This guy was just in the World Series last year.
Oh, yes. Austin, phone a friend real quick. Who is the Cleveland manager?
Coach Boston.
Can't think of it.
He won a couple World Series there.
TF.
Oh, Terry Francona.
Oh, man, that was
This
painful.
is horrible, man. This is so bad.
All right, can you name the other AL Central manager?
Wow, there's another one?
He has a World Series ring.
Ozzie Guillen.
He's known by some analytics guys.
Oh, he's Kansas City's guy.
As being a pain, as like being lucky.
Ned Yost.
Good call.
That is correct.
He won that many games with the Brewers?
There are 2 more.
Buck Showalter.
Wow.
That's correct.
And then
he's been managing all
Bobby
the time.
Cox.
1 more in the NL Central.
In the NL Central. Well, how do we not get this?
He's
Clint Hurdle.
That's right.
Wow. That was really frustrating to me.
Painful.
That was. Thank you, Austin. Those are the 8 active. Where does that put him on the all-time baseball list? That's a Lonte list. Go. No, I'm kidding. That's pretty impressive, 1,000 wins. And a lot of those in Tampa, which is pretty.
He got a late start.
He did,
to his
too.
managing career. So the Cubs, Austin put this on. What active managers are Hall of Fame worthy? Is Madden there yet?
Well, now that he's won a series.
And he did it with the Cubs.
Probably.
I think he'll get in. Bochy.
What's as far as he took Tampa? Did they make
made a World Series?
They did make a World Series. So, yeah he would be in. Bochy's in for sure. Ned Yost? I don't think so.
No. Is Dusty Baker a Hall of Famer?
I don't think so. He's never won one, has he?
No, but if he would have won with the Cubs.
Oh, man. And every time I bring up Dusty Baker, I think Giants, and I think of his kid almost getting smashed at home plate.
Barry Bonds.
Was that Barry saving his kid?
How about Sosha?
he won a World Series, right?
Who would you put first? Is Bochy the first one you put in?
Yes.
Or is Francona? I think Francona is.
Yeah, that's probably true. Because he's won how many?
2 World Series?
2. Yeah, I'd probably go Francona and then Bochy. How many's Bochy
Bochy's
won,
won 3.
He's won 3, right?
Yeah.
He's been around forever, right? With the Padres and now Giants.
503 win percentage.
West. I'd go Bochy 1, then Francona 2.
Okay.
I think I would do that.
Is Showalter a Hall of Famer?
I would put him in.
He's a phenomenal regular season coach.
Just can't ever win in the post.
He doesn't get very far.
Can't ever win in the postseason. That's interesting.
Torrey replaced him and did really well with the Yankees.
It says something, though, to have a guy like Clint Hurdle with what he was able to do with Pittsburgh after, 21 seasons where they didn't even finish above 500.
People forget about the Rockies, too.
They do. Well, right. That's exactly right.
He got to the World Series with the Rockies.
That's true. So I would say Clint Hurdle's got a chance of that. And Mike Matheny.
Yeah. Hey, best manager of your lifetime. Who would you make it?
Probably. That's hard with the White Rat. I mean, I'm thinking for me, just on my teams, you mean, or
I'm just saying in your lifetime?
In general, in my lifetime, best manager. I loved Leland. I loved Jimmy Leland.
I mean, it's a short list of La Russa, Torrey,
Lasorda,
Cox.
Yeah, Bobby Cox, Torrey, Lasorda has to be on that. Tommy Lasorda. I think, I love Jimmy Leland. That could be wrong. That's probably the wrong
pick. Because he looked like he
pick.
was smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, well, he would. He'd be sitting in there smoking a cigarette, just having a good old time. I don't know. I mean, probably La Russa. La Russa's what, 3rd all-time in wins? Behind who? Connie Mack and somebody?
If Bobby Cox had a few more rings.
Yes, that's the problem. He could always get there, but he could not ever win the World Series. Well, he won 1, right? 1 in all those years with Steve Avery, Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine.
I like how you mentioned Steve Avery first. That's the first name off. We got Smoltz, Maddux, and Glavine.
I don't even mention
Steve Avery. You mentioned Kent Merker first?
Hey, Kim Merker on one of my baseball games in video, he was solid. I always traded for him. He was solid.
Illini golf coach Mike Small joins us next.
It is the Tay and J Show. I'm slap happy. Yeah.
The party's on. The legendary voice of Motley Crue, Vince Neil. Performing all your favorite Motley Crue hits. Saturday night, May 20th at 8 at Effingham Performance Center. Vince Neil live. Reserve seats on sale now at Ticketmaster.com, the UPC box office, or phone. Give it a kickstart with Vince Neil live.
Life is full of twists and turns. You can't see the unknown, but you can certainly prepare for it. Pekin Life Insurance Company offers a variety of term and whole life insurance policies that are designed to meet the needs of individuals and their families. Options include transitional life, universal life, preferred whole life, family term life, and many others. Visit PekinInsurance.com or ask your local Pekin Insurance agent about an affordable, beyond the expected life insurance policy that's right for you.
Hi, I'm Dan Moyson, owner of Simplified Computers in Champaign. For over 20 years, Simplified Computers has been helping local businesses and nonprofits with their computing and networking needs. We cover everything from servers, network security, cloud-based applications, wireless accessibility, computer support. In short, whatever technical issues your business runs into, we've seen it and we can help. Call us at 352-5000. That's 352-5000. Simplified Computers. Simply the best.
If you really want to enjoy life celebrations, you need to call Rosati's Pizza for their comfortable catering package for 10 for just $92.35. Rosati's will serve you, along with your friends, families, and coworkers, a delicious lunch or dinner for under $100. Feed them all with Italian beef, pasta salad, and garlic bread. It's all about good food at Rosati's. Having a party, picnic, hosting a celebration? Call Rosati's for their comfortable catering package for 10. Rosati's Pizza, 701 South Gregory in Urbana, or call 328-2334.
Our Stevie J Broadcasting Law Enforcement Official of the Month is Dan Ward, the Champaign Police Department.
I'm a talker. I'm a negotiator. That's the side of me. I want to get to know you. And I don't do this because I want to get through a call. I want to do this because I want to make your life better or help you in some circumstance. So always, I keep telling the new officers that I train, it's that 5 minutes when the call is all done and you want to leave and you just stick around for 5 minutes and talk. That's when you learn about people.
Mm-hmm. Anything surprise you after 13 years?
How much I still love it. I think it gets better and better. You see bad things all the time. Those are the things that stick with you. You know, you go home and you tell your family the good, the funny stuff. And after 13 years of doing this, I still love it. I still get a ton of just joy out of it. Every day I love coming to work. Every day I love hitting the streets. And every day I love answering calls.
Dan, as a negotiator and a member of that crisis intervention team, what kind of things are you facing out there?
You face everything. The spectrum, the gambit, everything you could possibly see on movies and TVs. Those are real lives.
Brought to you by F.E. Moran Security Solutions. You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Live from New York, The Fox Report.
I'm Lisa Brady. And this is a Fox News alert. The worst day on Wall Street since September after a memo from then FBI Chief James Comey claiming the president told him he hoped he could let the investigation of Michael Flynn go. Multiple congressional committees want to hear from Comey. Fox's Jared Halpern is live on Capitol Hill.
The Republican chairman of the House Oversight Committee has set a hearing for next week for Comey to testify, an invitation Jason Chaffetz says he has not yet spoken with Comey about. Multiple panels here say they, too, want to talk to Comey and see the memo detailing his conversations with President Trump. Still, most House Republicans leaving a strategy session this morning signaled continued support for the president.
At this point, I have not seen anything that is that alarming.
Alabama Republican Robert Adderholt and many of his colleagues say there should not be a rush to judgment, Lisa.
Well, Jared, the White House disputes the accuracy of Comey's version of the conversation, but the damage is done on Wall Street. The Dow dropping 372 points. The S&P also down nearly 2%. The NASDAQ drops over 2.5%. Its biggest loss in nearly a year. Some investors taking it in stride.
We've had almost essentially a 20% run up in the last year. This is like a 1% pullback? It's absolutely nothing at all.
But others worry the president's pro-business agenda could stall. President Trump telling Coast Guard Academy grads they'll sometimes be treated unfairly.
Look at the way I've been treated lately. Especially by the media.
Though he stopped short of a specific reference.
You have to put your head down and fight.
The president has since returned to Washington from Connecticut, and he's been holding more meetings with potential Comey replacements. You're on the Fox Report. Fair and balanced.
The key to success? Keep it simple, especially when it comes to hiring. And nobody makes it easier than Indeed.com. Post a job in minutes. Set up screener questions. Manage your candidates from one dashboard. According to an independent study, 5 times more hires are made through Indeed than any other job site. New users claim your $50 credit to post a sponsored job at Indeed.com/credit. Indeed, the world's #1 job site. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
Here's a little ditty about that John Deere mower deck that mows faster, better. It's not how fast you mow, my friends, it's how well you mow fast. If you just mow fast but your yard looks bad, then you got a lot of ugly grass. You need a John Deere to take care of your yard. You need a Z-Track Z3 45R. It's not how fast you mow, my friends, it's how well you mow fast. The XL deck's got more capacity for yards like yours that get to grassity. Want to mow well in a higher gear? See a John Deere dealer, nothing runs like a deer.
More than 40 reputed members of the violent MS-13 gang are indicted in California, facing federal charges after a 2-year racketeering probe.
Many of them are illegal aliens. LAPD Chief Charlie Beck said having sanctuary policies helped the investigation. But when asked if those policies helped the gang thrive, Beck said no.
Since MS is spread to many other cities that you may or may not believe are sanctuary cities, and they are much more violent in those cities than they are here, you could say that our sanctuary policies, quote unquote, are what makes us successful here because we get people to talk.
The gang is accused of murders and human and narcotics trafficking. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
Late word that Milwaukee Sheriff and outspoken conservative David Clark says he's taken a job as an assistant Homeland Security Secretary. This just 2 weeks after an inquest into an inmate's dehydration death recommended charges against some county jail staffers. Homeland Security officials say no announcement has been made about the position, which will be an appointment by the Homeland Security chief, not the president. They're still surveying damage from tornadoes that killed at least 2 people in Wisconsin and Oklahoma yesterday.
The winds were blowing pretty hard, almost blew
almost blew my personal car off the road.
He's a police officer in the town of Valley, Nebraska, where they had hurricane-force wind gusts. They're not just a power couple. They are powerfully rich.
They are the entertainment industry's top performers, both in awards and sales. And now Forbes puts the combined wealth of Jay-Z and Beyonce at $1.16 billion. It's a combination of music, touring, and the businesses they run. The magazine estimates Jay-Z's fortune at $810 million, with Beyonce adding around $350 million.
Fox's Michelle Polino. Among their ventures, both have a stake in a music streaming service. In New York, I'm Lisa Brady on Fox News Radio.
When you're worth $1 billion,
$1 billion.
What do you do for Christmas? Kids, we got each of you 3 gifts each.
Blue Ivy's got a good Christmas coming. Here's your ESPN Radio 3-day forecast brought to you by Chief Bauer. Trust the experts.
Oh, did it go in?
I was watching the Illini.
Did you just have a squirrel moment?
Yeah, I was watching the Illini highlights. I mean, Mike Small's program was really good today.
You just had a squirrel. Jeremy never has a squirrel moment.
Trust the experts at Cheap Power Service Experts to keep you comfortable all year long. Get that AC fix. You're going to need it. You need it now. Mm-hmm. Partly cloudy tonight, low of 67. Thursday, mostly sunny, high 87, low of 51. Thunderstorms Friday, high just 69, a low of 61. Right now, mostly cloudy, windy, 81 in Champaign-Urbana.
It is the Tay and J Show, ESPN Radio 93.5. Lon Tay, Jeremy Werner. And it is time to bring on the Jupiters at the Crossing phone line, Illinois golf coach Mike Small. Mike, were you doing anything today? Did you have any kind of a day? Did you have some plans?
Lon, I'm exhausted.
Oh, my.
Tired. I am thankful that this is an hour and a half drive home. It's kind of nice.
Amen. Coach, I was there. I saw you. We said hi. I cannot even begin. I don't even know what to ask you after a day like that. I mean, it was an early start. And I'll be honest with you, Coach, when Dylan Meyer was teeing off on 15 after he had bogeyed 14, and I saw you in the fairway, and I want to ask you about that in a minute. I looked at the guy next to me and I said, I think it's over. I'm not sure that they're going to make it. And like 45 minutes later, you were in great shape. I mean, that was so weird, Coach.
It was weird. Those last few holes on that golf course could do it for you or do it to you. And you do that. We had talked about it, and I've seen it before. And then when you factor in 40-mile-an-hour gusts and constant 25-mile-an-hour winds, some of these teams haven't seen that before. And you just can't lose the faith. It looked like we did. It felt like we did a couple times today. I kind of got a little frustrated at times when guys got a little somber and they'll started feeling sorry for themselves a little bit. So you got to kind of get back to what we do and remind them of what we're all about. And they're on 15. I mean, the message on 15, Nick got it on 14. The rest of them got it on 15. Is that everybody had to play 1 under on the way out.
Wow,
it was a tall task, but that was the goal. That was okay. You know, as a coach, you learn that if you put little things like that in there and start, little goals within the game, they forget about what's happened already and they focus on what they have to do. They're not sitting there still feeling sorry for themselves about the bad day they've had or some bad holes. And to be honest with you, it wasn't looking very good. You're right. But you know how that course finishes, and if we could put a push on and put some pressure, you never know. And if we all had played 1 under, which was almost nearly impossible, but it's a goal you put out in front of them. Dylan did, and Dylan he perked right up, and he saw a reachable goal that he'd been struggling all day and not playing very well, but he put a little goal in front of him. He wanted to grab it, and it helped.
Coach Lon was there, and he saw you go up to Dylan, and I'm wondering, when you go up to him or any other golfer, can you explain how you know what to say?
Yeah, good call.
And how do you figure that all out? How do you know what to say? And obviously it turned him around because he was struggling this tournament, and he's a guy you need to count on every time. So how did you know what to say to Dylan in that moment?
Well, you hope you're saying the right things. You never really know, but that's the art of coaching golf, and it's like being a caddy on tour, or it's like being an instructor. At certain times, you got to know your personnel, you got to know your people, and you got to know what makes them tick, and what gets them in the emotional level they play their best at. And I tell people that's my biggest job at a tournament is to get our guys individually playing in their best emotional level. Sometimes you got to bring guys down with a hug and kind of console them a little bit, get them back to where they need to be. Sometimes you got to be forceful and borderline yell at them, and sometimes you have to make them feel small and do things. There's different tricks. There's different, not really tricks, I should say. There's different tactics to use to get our guys to play the best in their emotional level, and these young players are learning that. The thing the pros do the best is they know how to do that a lot themselves. They learn about themselves. They grow up, and they've had a lot of experiences. These young guys are learning that. So my job is to roam and touch as many guys differently for short bursts of time as I can to gauge their emotional level, to gauge where they're at, and then adjust them accordingly. But if they're doing great, like Nick today, Nick didn't need much. He was in it from the day from the minute we started. In the Big Ten, Dylan was there too. So at certain times, so when the guys are playing well, you let them be and let them do their job. But if you need to make an adjustment, you find them, you seek them out, you see where they're at, and you go try to impose your will a little bit.
Talking with Illini golf coach Mike Small, advances to his 10th straight NCAA championships. Congratulations for that, Coach. But, Dylan has been so great for you, and the Big Ten championships was another. He didn't seem himself most of this weekend. What did you see out of Dylan that maybe needs to get corrected before you get to the big one in a week and a half?
Well, fundamentally and physically, he's not far off. We'll work on some things the next few days, but what people don't know about Dylan right now is he didn't play golf for 2 weeks after the Big Ten championship. The day before the regionals was the first round of golf he had played since he won the Big Ten championship. He was sick and has got some health issues and fought through it to win a Big Ten championship. Was very strong and very it was a Herculean effort by him to do that at Big Ten. And then we spent the last 2 weeks trying to get him ready and trying to get him healthy, and he shows up the day before, or actually the day we leave. This is the first day he played golf. So he was under the weather, fought as hard as he could. He had some flashes of good play, but, he was a little tired, a little worn out, and out of sorts, if you will. So it was up to the team to hold him up and return the favor that he did for us most of the year.
Well, and he needed to lose some weight. So, let's be honest, you're right. Right.
He lost weight. Yeah, he lost a lot.
It's unreal that that kid can do what he does like that. Talk a little bit about Giovanni and also Liparelli. It was one of those, as I was following those guys around, I kind of made note to just follow Dylan and let's get him rolling, right? Not that I'm the guy doing it, but I'm like, if this is going to turn, I want to see him do it. But, you look back and Liparelli and Giovanni, they're making putts. They're playing solid. And for guys that's freshman and sophomore, for them to step up and do that today, Coach, that's huge.
Oh, it was huge. It was huge, but we expect that, and we encourage that, and that's something that each man has to do his job and be accountable. And say Giovanni's improved so much this spring. A lot of people have noticed that. I've seen it day to day, every day, get a little better, and his mind and emotional level and his maturity on the golf course and confidence has gone through the roof. And he had some shots today that I've never seen anybody hit before. He had 270 yards into the green on 16, a par 5, into that wind, and flew 3-wood in the middle of the green and made birdie. Almost, had a chance for eagle. He's hit shots that I haven't seen anybody hit in my program. So The talent level's there. He's just got to get acclimated and learn how this whole thing works and become more of a polished player. And Eduardo's doing that too. Eduardo's he's on routine for a sophomore at his level. He's had decent freshman year. He's had flashes of brilliance this year. We still need to work on his consistency, but for him to come through today and shoot 3 over on that golf course in those conditions, he bogeyed last 2 holes. He still played awfully strong all day and made a couple of birdies there at the end for us. And those guys were huge, and obviously Nick was the star of the day. But even like Michael Fiegel's had a poor tournament. He's been our number 3 man really most of the spring, Big Ten freshman of the year. Wow. He didn't really help us at all, but the team held him up, and that's what we do for each other. That's what good teams have to do.
How much does last year and the year before, especially for a guy like Liparelli, how much does that help for him and the 2 previous years for Meyer and Hardy? How much does that come into play on a single back 9 for your team?
You mean just playing and just having the experience of being in the hunt?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's all part of the progression of learning. That's why these kids want to come to programs or go to programs where they can be pushed and learn. And like Fiegel's learned a lot this weekend. Even though he didn't play well, he learned a lot to help him down the road. I think, Eduardo and Nick and Dylan have been there. Nick and Dylan have played in 2 national semifinals. That's 2 Final Fours.
Wow.
And you quit it to any other sports, I mean, that's a pretty good experience. You play at the top of the level like that. So those guys know it, and Nick implemented that experience today. But Eduardo, yeah, he's just, the more you play it, the more you put yourself into it, the more you get thrown into the heat and have to figure it out, the better you're going to be. That's why we do all this stuff. That's the purpose of college golf, is to get these guys, in the heat so that when they play later in life, they've had some experiences.
Couple more questions for Mike Small. If you have his cell, do not call him or text him. He's going to take a nap. I think we all need a nap after that wind and those early tee times at 6:50 a.m. Coach, I know you kind of discussed this a little bit, but I had talked to Jeremy when we started the show about this, and I made mention of me. Now, just me, but it's like I really felt like that was over today. Where does this one rank? When you've been to 10 of these straight, I don't know how you even do that, but to know how you guys, even on like 15, 14, 13, that it just didn't seem like it was going to happen, and then for that to happen, how does that rank with what you've done in the past?
Well, we talked about it before the round. Last night after the second round, I said we've been to 11 or 12 finals, and we've done it all different ways. We've laid out in the front and blown people away. We've come from way back. We've done things, and this, every team's got its own little history, its own little, roadway that you've gotten there. And this was ours. This was ours to test us after a rough day yesterday and to see if we could do it today. And, there are times really, I mean, if you looked at it logically, there was no way we were going to make that.
No.
Today. I mean, if you looked at it, the teams up there, the amount of strokes, it looked insurmountable if you know anything about college golf. But at the same point in time, those holes are very tough coming in. You're playing in 40-mile-an-hour wind. And for us to make that ground up, we would have to make some putts. Well, it's hard to make putts when it's blowing that hard. So it's like, well, how are we going to catch these guys? Well, they gave us some help. They didn't play great. Florida didn't play great coming down the stretch. Purdue struggled a little bit, but they're good teams. But we played solid golf. We got back into it with some birdies that we needed. Putts didn't drop for us all week. I mean, it was a frustrating 2.5 days. But we made a couple birdies, but made some really good pars on those hard holes. And we talked. You never give up on this golf course. You hear coaches talk about it in sports. People talk about it in life. Never give up. But I'm just telling you, it's true. You never know. We could have played better than that, still not made it. You don't never know what's going to happen, but just take care of your part of the equation, your part of the team, and go do it. And the last 4 holes, we came alive. We had that little goal we talked about, and that's huge to distract them off what's happened so far in the round.
That's why Mike Small is the best coach in the country, and that's what I love about it. And, Coach, how do you take then from going from that, what you thought today, to now you advance? It's a breath of fresh air. Everybody's clean. Here we go. It's in our own state. How do you take that as a positive now to move on with these guys?
Oh, that's huge. I mean, some of these little mental lapses we had this week and some of these little body language funks we got into, feeling sorry for ourselves. I think our fans are going to keep us accountable next week. They're not going to let us do that. Nice. If you're a basketball player playing in front of 16,000, if you loaf down the court, you're not going to do it because everybody sees it. Well, if you're a golfer on the back nine by yourself and you're 4 or 5 over, you got to be a special person on a special team to still fight, scratch, and claw to get back to 2 or 3 over when your score's not going to count anyway. It's easy to quit. And today, this week, we got a little down on ourselves a couple of times and started moping. Well, next week, that's not going to happen in front of a lot of fans for us because this is kind of unique. So I think we're going to feed off the fans. We're going to feed off the excitement, and we're going to use this to our best of our ability. But we got to play better. We got to drive it better. We got to make more putts. So we got some stuff we got to do yet. We'll take the next week to figure it out. But, I think that's what's going to happen at the Nationals. We're going to feed off the energy, hopefully.
Every team is different, Coach, but is there any team you look towards in the past for a young team going into an event like this?
Well, not this. This is a combination of youth and experience. When we finished second in the country, we had a bunch of freshmen and a sophomore, and Peters, and he had been to one Final 8. Well, we've been to 5 match plays. We've been in the Final 4 times, Final 8 5 times. So there's 2 guys that have been there. So we have kind of a combination of some experience and some youth. This is unique for us. We've either been really young or really old together. And the leadership we had from Charlie and Thomas and those guys a few years really helped Dylan and Nick, and they're very talented. So this team's got its own personality that we're still trying to figure out, believe it or not. This has been from a coaching standpoint, this has been a tenuous and hard year because, we got some really good young players, but the personalities are tough to get used to, or hard to get used to, I should say, and get everybody fitted together. It's coming together. On certain days we're as good as anybody, but To answer your question there, Jeremy, this is a unique team, its own personality, and this week showed it. I mean, they don't give up, and they fight, and there's some talent there.
This course, Rich Harvest Farms, I mean, how much familiarity do you have with it?
Nick and Dylan and Eduardo have played it before. We played a tournament here last year, I think it was, almost 2 years ago. I know it. It's very tricky. The rough's going to be long. We don't really know it. The freshmen never seen it, meaning it's like I said, we have to drive it better as a team. But I think if we play our style of golf, the way we talk about and teach and expect, we should be okay. We play tough golf courses because we understand how to play the game and how to let how not to step out of our arena or out of our parameters. And if we can have some discipline up there with still some confidence, we should do well, because it's a very hard golf course. It's very difficult, shallow greens, a lot of rough, Pinot water hazards on the greens. It's going to be tough.
Well, Mike Small, congratulations. What a day, what a finish, what a memory to be there and watch you guys do that. And wish us luck tomorrow, because I think the entire team is coming in to studio for interviews. So wish us luck tomorrow.
Well, that's good. That makes me happy. They all should be there. Just not one or two of them, but they all should be there sharing in this thing and growing together as a team. We still got 2 more weeks of the season left, and we're still growing. So
awesome.
It'll be great. Thanks for having me, man.
Thanks, Coach. We appreciate it, buddy. Congrats. Mike Small, it is an honor to have Coach Small on, and, he said it. And
he's the best in the business. I keep saying this, but
yes.
he is like the Coach K of that profession.
He is. And he said it because you and I had this thought when we come on, when he comes on, I'm going to ask him what he asked or what he talked to Dylan about on 15, and he said it. And how brilliant is that? Instead of dwelling on what has happened through 14 holes for everybody, because he said he caught everybody on 15 for the most part, except for one golfer, instead of dwelling on what has happened leading up to that, here's what we're going to do. You need to go out in 1 under, and you've got 15, 16, 17, 18 to get that accomplished. And you're talking about world-class golfers here for the collegiate age, at least.
Yeah.
I mean, these are kids that if you give them that goal of 1 under, now on most days, Jeremy, without wind, he'd probably have to say 4 under.
And you know what? Dylan did it.
Yep.
Hardy went 2 under.
Dylan went 2 under from 15.
Lipperelli, he had a bogey as the last hole.
I'm sorry. My fault.
Lipperelli went 1 over, and Tadioto went 1 over.
I mean, that's unreal.
Yeah.
He put that little thought in their head of saying, quit worrying about what's going on now. Here's what we're going to do going forward. That's brilliance.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this.
I mean, that's what makes a great coach,
yes.
though, right? Knowing what to say.
Yes.
To whom?
Yes.
Right? And at what time? Like, that is what makes the coach great, because he knew with Nick Hardy, you just don't say anything.
No, he's playing.
Like, if LeBron James is in his zone,
yep.
you just let him go.
You don't say a word to him.
And LeBron, you probably don't have to coach at this
right.
point. But this guy, you might have to say something different. Like,
yep.
me, not that I'm a great athlete.
No.
I needed to be propped up most times.
Exactly.
Or left alone. My brother needed to be rode.
I was like your brother.
He needed to be yelled at,
yep.
and that's when he played his best, when he was angry.
Fire under, what.
When I was angry,
yep.
I was, like, it clouded my mind.
Got in your head, yeah. I agree with you. And that's the cool thing about Mike Small. And I'll tell you the other funny thing that I didn't mention with him, but for about 3 holes there with Dylan, I kept thinking to myself, I wonder why Coach won't go talk to Dylan Meyer, because he's got to get him straightened out. And again, Dylan had a solid round under those conditions, but you expect so much better from him. When he talked to Dylan on 15, I'm not kidding you, Jeremy, I felt better.
Yeah.
As a fan, I was like, oh, good.
Presence, right?
Coach Small's here. He's talking to Dylan.
I was thinking
and the next
about
thing you know, he's a foot away from a birdie and he knocks it. I'm just like, that's unreal.
I was thinking about this in my head. Like, I wonder if, like, Dylan's sitting there like, hey, where's Coach Small?
Yeah, does he not like me anymore?
I need somebody here.
I mean, Tay's over here bugging me.
Those kids don't have a caddy.
They don't. No,
right?
They're out there by themselves. Now, most of their parents are there, but
right.
they're not talking to them. They're not talking to any of the fans.
Right. So you're sitting there alone.
Yes.
Basically.
It's funny you brought that up. So I thought of this today. He doubled a hole. I think he doubled, and then he bogeyed when he missed a make. Well, he 3-putted to make bogey. And Dylan goes to the next tee box, and they're waiting on the people ahead of him. And he's got about I want to say almost 7 minutes of nothing.
Yeah.
But him just standing there. And I started thinking to myself, isn't it funny how these kind of sports, and Coach Small talks to this all the time with regards to how golf is just one of those games. But he had 7 minutes, let's say, to sit there and either stew on the fact that he just 3-putted for bogey.
It's not like he's had his cell phone out going through tweets and stuff.
He's not talking to the other guys. It's him. And you
in
have
your
to
own
be
little world, which can be a scary place.
Oh, and you have to be so mentally tough, and that's what these kids. And I love the fact. Here's my last thing. My last take from what Coach. I am excited. I am so excited about this. My last take from Coach Small is the fact that I love what he said about the fact that, you know what, I saw some of you guys out there almost give up.
Yeah,
and that's not like an Illini team. No. And you know what, you got away with it today. This could be a huge push for this championship. I don't know. I've felt that all year, Jeremy.
Great learning experience.
I've felt like I've had this special feeling about this team all year.
Well, most people have said it's rebuilding, but it's like the talent's there. The coach is there.
And when they win it, I am going to force Mike Small to have. I don't care if they're playing Parkland. I don't care if they're playing Villa Grove High School golf. They're going to meet down here at Stone Creek and have one tournament, and they can get their medals.
Just like a victory tour?
That's it. Yeah. And charge $50 a person, $100 a person. We'll come out. We'll watch them. We want to see this. Do an alumni match.
They do that.
I know, but that'd be fun here.
It'd be fun to have fans out there.
That'd be awesome.
If you want to weigh in, 359-2255, that's 217.
That's awesome.
359-2255. Austin Berkland just put out a tweet.
Uh-oh.
That's a really good topic for the show.
Really? Why does he tweet to everybody and not tell us?
Because Illinois football has something that Illinois basketball does not. And Austin's saying Illinois basketball needs to add this.
Ooh.
Let's bring this up when we come back, because I think it's really difficult to pick what it would be.
It's not Ian Happ.
Well, he's a Cubs player.
Oh, that's right. Well, I thought he'd be tweeting about
Ian Happ?
Yeah, I thought he'd be tweeting about the Cubs. All right, we'll do that. This has got me interested. We'll do it next. If you want to weigh in, 359-2255. It's the Tay and J Show.
An ESPN Radio Mike and Mike Extra Point.
If you're the Celtics and you could get Paul George for that pick, or you could get Jimmy Butler for that pick.
It's a fair question.
Is that better than what Markelle Fultz projects to be?
It's an absolutely fair question. It comes down again to, and this is where a lot of decisions are made, and in my opinion, maybe mistakes are made, where you're going on potential more than what you see. Jimmy Butler and Paul George are great players. But it's like, oh, my God, what this Fultz guy can be. Sometimes you make the ceiling a little too high and say, we're going to take this guy and live on what we think he can be, instead of right there in front of your face are two guys that would help your team so much right now and for the next few years, by the way, as well. It's not like they're ancient players. I do think sometimes teams get enamored with the 19 and, oh, my God, this guy's going to be a perennial superstar as soon as he gets into the league.
Hear more from Mike and Mike tomorrow morning on ESPN Radio. The Home Depot has made garden guesswork a thing of the past, with colorful 10-inch annual drop-in blooms, now a special buy at just $9.88 each. These hand-selected pre-potted flower combinations are the perfect mix of colors, varieties, and textures. They grow well together and look great in any container you drop them in. Instantly. Drop, bloom, and save. Get a fresh take on spring with 10-inch annual drop-in blooms now just $9.88 each. Only at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. While supplies last.
Missing that spring in your step? Maybe it's time to stop tossing and turning on your old mattress. It's time for a new bed. A Sleep Number bed adjusts to your own individualized comfort, firmness, and support. And it's built to last 25 years, but costs about the same as a traditional mattress. In fact, 9 out of 10 Sleep Number owners recommend it. And you can only find it at a Sleep Number store. Oh, and right now, it's the lowest price ever on our temperature balancing i8 bed. Save $700. For research information and to find one of our 550 stores nationwide, go to sleepnumber.com.
Beacon Insurance and your local independent agent are committed to providing the best coverage options and the best service possible. They're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at beaconinsurance.com and on social media. Check them out on Facebook at facebook.com/Beacon Insurance. It's a great way to learn more about insurance for your auto, home, life, or business. You'll stay up to date with important announcements. Plus, they'll throw in a few fun facts along the way. For beyond the expected information, follow Beacon Insurance on Facebook today.
Hey, it's me, your old AC. We need to talk, man. I am out of hair. Trust me. It's not going to get much better. I need to be replaced. Call the experts and get a new air conditioner that will save up to 50% on energy bills. Go ahead. Do it. I'll be right here. Whew.
At Chief Bauer Service Experts, save up to $4,000 on a new home comfort system. Call 866-EXPERTS or visit chiefbauer.com. For expert service guaranteed.
Call 866-EXPERTS.
DP Dough is the original Calzone company, and they cater all types and sizes of events, from office orders to private parties to entire visiting football teams. Everyone will be sure to enjoy something different than the same old sandwiches or pizza. DP Dough also delivers to nearly all of Champaign, Urbana, and Savoy until late at night. So give them a call or order online when you're hungry and no one else is delivering. With over 1 million calzones served since opening in 2006, DP Dough is sure to satisfy and fill you up. DP Dough, the original Calzone company.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? There's a tremendous price war among the major term life companies. Rates have dropped dramatically in the past few years. For example, a man age 45 non-tobacco user, $1 million of coverage, $75 per month level rate for the next 10 years. Or a man age 50 non-tobacco can obtain $500,000 of coverage for a monthly premium of only $110 per month, guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right, level rate guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. If you're a smoker, we have great rates available for you as well. At Termbusters, we specialize in policies of $500,000 and above. If you're looking for new or replacement term life insurance, call today for a quote at 1-800-569-5440. That's 1-800-569-5440. You're probably paying more than you should. Call Termbusters, 1-800-569-5440, or visit our website at termbusters.net. Remember, 1-800-569-5440. Rates and availability may vary by state. Sample rate quotes based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting. Exam required to qualify.
Hi, it's Stevie J. Start your day with me along with Diane Ducey, weekday morning 7 to 9, here on ESPN Radio 93.5.
Hello, I'm Austin Berkman with your 4:30 Sports Center update brought to you by Prairie View Landscaping. Email mypvdiscount@gmail.com for a free quote. That's mypvdiscount@gmail.com. They did it, Test. Oh, my. What a comeback the Illini put on. They started the day in 6th place and 5 shots back, but with timely pars and birdies, Illinois has officially headed the NCAA Finals with a final score of plus 14. Nick Hardy led the Illini, shooting 1 under par. This is the Illini's 10th straight time advancing to the NCAA Finals. Finals are taking place in Sugar Grove, Illinois at the Rich Harvest Farms Golf Course, May 26th through the 31st. Hey, the Cubs bats came alive last night in a 9-5 win over the Cincinnati Reds. Ian Happ, Kyle Schwarber, and Anthony Rizzo and Addison Russell all went deep. Joe Madden collected his 1,000th career victory as manager. The Reds and Cubs meet again tonight at 7:05, and it's Scott Feldman versus Kyle Hendricks as the pitching matchup. Listen to the game on our sister station, US 105.9. The Cardinals fell to the Boston Red Sox 6-3 from Busch Stadium yesterday evening. Mookie Betts and Jackie Bradley Jr. both went deep for the Red Sox. Tonight, it's last year's AL Cy Young winner Rick Porcello taking on the current NL ERA leader Mike Leake. Listen to the game right here on ESPN CU 93.5. Pre-game starts at 6:25. First pitch, that's at 7:15. The White Sox didn't allow a Mike Trout home run last night, so consider that a small victory in last night's 7-6 11-inning loss to the Los Angeles Angels. They line up again tonight in Los Angeles, and it's Miguel Gonzalez versus Matt Shoemaker for a late 9:07 first pitch. And the Eagles have made a move. They signed running back LeGarrette Blount to a 1-year deal. Giants and Cardinals both showed interest in the 30-year-old running back.
We didn't want him.
Championship.
Blount has scored 18 touchdowns last year for the New England Patriots.
Doesn't he weigh like 400 pounds? Or am I thinking of somebody different?
Jared Lorenzen.
Eddie Lacy?
Maybe that's Eddie Lacy. Yeah, my number 3 pick in the 3rd round, that is. But I still won it all, didn't I, Mike Taylor? All right, it's the Tay and J Show, ESPN Radio 93.5. Lonte, Jeremy Warner.
By the way, the White Sox fading fast.
I looked at you, you fist bumped, and I'm like, oh, did the Sox win? You're like, no.
No, lost close game in extra innings.
Yes.
That's what we want.
That's nothing wrong with that.
They'll play competitively, but end up losing by a run.
Have some fun out there.
Yeah. Get better, kids. Give it your best. Get better every day, just like Harry.
I love it. Yeah.
Right? I mean,
that's exactly right.
That's all you want. They've lost 8 of their last 10.
Yep.
So we're now in 4th place, and Kansas City just 1.5 behind.
Everything's coming up
Get
roses.
going, Kansas City. We got a draft pick. We got to get a high draft pick.
Coming up roses. Hey, we've got a couple of tickets we're going to give away before we're out of here for Cardinals baseball against the Giants, right? And that is this Friday. And it's Illini night. So before we get out of here today, we will give you a chance to win 2 of the tickets.
Austin Berkland, our producer, sent out a tweet that really, really intrigued me. And I think it'll start a really good conversation.
Executive.
Austin, what was your tweet and what kind of brought this up?
My tweet was, there needs to be an Illini basketball statue of someone like the Red Grange statue outside Memorial Stadium.
That's interesting.
Because I saw that Missouri is actually putting up a Norm Stewart statue outside of Missouri Basketball Stadium, whatever that's called. Sorry for not knowing.
That's all right.
Nobody knows.
It's Ms. Nas. But that struck me, and I'm like, who would they put on? And then Jeremy came up with this poll idea, and right now you have D. Brown, Lou Henson, and Darren Williams, and who else?
Nick Anderson.
Yeah.
We thought, who would be the statue-worthy guys? And the 2 guys that immediately come to mind, they're doing Norm Stewart, Lou Henson.
Yes.
Everyone would get behind Lou Henson.
No doubt.
He's got the court named after him.
But he's got the court, so maybe we go a different route.
And for me, I kind of side with the player that kind of epitomized everything you wanted about Illinois basketball. And even though he's not the greatest player ever at Illinois, I think he's the biggest fan favorite ever
without
at Illinois.
Not even close.
And he has an iconic pose.
Yes.
And that's D. Brown, jersey popping.
Yes.
I think that and Lou Henson would probably be the top 2 choices if you want iconic moments.
Because you want the statue to, I mean, when you looked at that and you had a statue, you don't want to just standing there, right? You needed something
like
with
Lou
it.
with his hands on his hips.
Right, yeah, or pointing like you said. But D with the jersey pop, I mean, that would just be a cool statue. Imagine all the pictures you'd take with that.
Would you even consider Darren Williams' shot against Arizona?
Yeah. I think so.
Or Nick Anderson's shot against Indiana. Is there any other player that you consider? Because I thought of Kenny Battle dunking because of the 89 final.
Because Kenny was probably the second behind D. Brown in terms of all-time favorite Illini's. Right. I mean, I know Darren's there. I just said Illini's. I apologize to all Illinois fans out there. I don't know why I said that. But Kenny Battle at the time, I mean, he was the D. Brown. It's just D took it to another level. He took it to a level that was unreal. I don't think so.
Kendall.
I mean, Dion was the all-time leading scorer, but Dion was Dion. He was just consistently good.
And you could go Johnny Red Kerr, but I think Lou or D would top that.
Agree. I totally agree. I think those 4, I think a shot of Nick Anderson, and what I would love in that statue is some Indiana kid, you just barely make out a Hoosier jersey. Just so you know that, oh yeah, that's the shot that beat Indiana. And then, of course, Darren against Arizona.
I don't know if David's trolling, but he said, those are your choices? Sad.
Okay, well.
Who else would you put on there?
I don't know. He's probably an Indiana fan.
Probably.
He's probably a Hoosier fan. Calbert Cheney. We'll put Calbert Cheney on there. How about that?
I mean, if you're Indiana, would it be Bob Knight? Would it be Isaiah Thomas? Would it be Calbert?
So I could spit on Bob Knight.
I don't think they'd put a Bob Knight statue.
I don't either. I don't think so either. Who would? Isaiah Thomas?
Somebody just texted in Frank
Kent
Williams.
Benson? Frank Williams?
I mean, we're not talking just talent. I mean, that statue, obviously, Stan Musial is the greatest Cardinal ever, though now you could argue Albert. But you don't just do it on talent. I think you got to do it on somebody who epitomizes your program, kind of is the face of your program.
Yeah, when
and
you
still
think of Illinois basketball,
D still has that, despite not being a long-term NBA player.
I do too.
He's kind of like Illinois' Mateen Cleaves.
Yeah, I mean, he had the headband, he had the mouth guard. I mean, he had it all, right? The cornrows, the braids, whatever you call them. I mean, he had all of that. He had the look.
Eddie Johnson corner shot versus Michigan State.
Yeah, 1979. That got him to what, number 1 in the country, and then they had an injury and they lost like 17 of the 19 or something. That did get him to number 1 in the country. That was the only loss, I think, for Michigan State.
Somebody said Manny Jackson. He's got the Hall of Fame named after him.
He does. Yeah, that's good enough. And that's why Lou's got the court.
Right. D would have the statue.
Yeah. I mean, if you were walking
who
up...
else do we have to give something to? I had to give something to him. I mean, they're all going to be part of the Hall of Fame thing.
Yes.
And they're all going to have their jerseys up in the rafters next year.
Kerr, Gill, I mean, there's so many good players.
I just think the popping the jersey would be the coolest.
That's the look.
And I think people would go, hey, look, like they go meet at the D statue.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, meet us at the
talk
D
about
statue.
like Stan.
Yep. That's exactly right.
I think it would add that kind of value.
I love it. I like that idea. I would not be upset if Lou Henson was out there. I would not be upset with that at all. But since he's got the court, I think that would be cool to have a statue of D. People would love to take pictures of him.
We have about 60 votes in already.
Wow.
Who do you think leads?
D.
46%.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be close.
Lou and Darren, 25%. Nick Anderson, 4%.
I will be shocked when this poll ends and Lou Henson isn't a steady second place behind. It's going to go D, Lou, Darren, Nick. That's what it's going to do. Well, first of all, a lot of the young kids are the ones tweeting.
The poll is on Twitter at Tay and J Show, by the way.
Yes. But
I think it's going to go a little younger there. Maybe people listening are probably more likely to go Lou.
I love that idea, though. I love that thought. Would Illinois football have a coach that you'd put a statue of?
The next Illinois football has got to be Dick Butkus.
It's got to be Dick Butkus. Good call.
There's Red Grange, that statue is perfect.
Yes.
It is so well done. It is in the perfect spot. It is huge.
It's perfect.
I think that First Street, that when they come in for the Illini walk, I think that is the coolest thing. Like that North Carolina game, that Illini walk was awesome.
Was unbelievable.
And if Illinois really gets good, I think that thing's really special. That backdrop of the columns, the press box behind it, Grange Grove with that thing looks phenomenal.
Kudos to Mike Thomas for that, and I'm being serious.
Yeah.
He did a great job with that. And I've told you before, most of my life, except for about a 10-year stint where I was at SIU and then I worked for 4 years, so let's say 8 or 9 years, most of my life I've lived around here. I, to this day, will still drive down First Street by Memorial Stadium, and I still stare over at that stadium with, just in awe. And now that they've added Grange Grove and now that they've got the Red Grange statue, I just look at that and I'm like, that is sweet.
We got a texter saying you could go the Blackhawks route. They have a couple players from a team.
Oh, yeah.
You could have a flying Illini statue.
That'd be kind of cool.
Would you limit it to the starting 5?
Ooh.
Would you do the top 4 guys?
You leave out Liberty?
Yeah. Do you leave out Liberty? Do you leave out Hamilton?
Oh, that'd be tough. How about the 05 team? You'd have 5.
Yeah.
You'd have your 5 there, minus
you're not putting
Jack.
Not putting Nick Smith on there? Not putting the chainsaw?
No, we're not putting Nick. Or Jack Ingram.
Tyler Griffey layup statue. Somebody said the Whiz Kids. I get it.
Yes.
I get it, but I don't think that would have as much.
That team probably would have won a national title. It's crazy. They would have probably, without the war, they probably would have won a national title, but that's a long time ago, too, and so they're not going to get many votes from kids today or even people today.
It was just a different basketball.
I like this idea. I mean, you could just do like a collage statue with all the players from 89 and 05.
I still think just a D by itself.
I do too. Better. I think that's the best. But if you were going to go with 80, if you
do you have to wait longer before you give D a statue?
Let me ask you this: is there? And then I'll answer your question. Is there an area that is high? I mean, I know they've got the Hall of Fame now, but is there something that captures and highlights 89 and 05?
You could do one on either entrance.
That'd be cool. Yeah, because you've got the two main entrances.
Two main entrances. You have one on either side.
The 05 entrance and the 89.
I think having D for one of them.
That'd be cool.
I mean, I know Darren and all that, but just the D popping the jersey is just such an iconic moment.
Because you know how many people would love their picture in front of them.
Yes.
Would take their kids over and take a picture in front of them.
All these ideas we're talking about.
This is awesome.
Which one is going to have the most people going up to?
D.
D popping the jersey.
It's not even close, and that's why this poll will be a blowout.
Augustine on the bench in foul trouble, one texter said. That's good. That's good. I like that.
Can we put in the Bill Limone or Limino or whatever? Can we have him on the air? Carp said he could get him on the air.
How about Lucas Johnson going out of bounds, saving a ball out of bounds?
Or just taking a charge. Lucas Johnson taking a charge. That'd be classic.
One texter, if it's not a definitive answer for the statue, then maybe we just shouldn't have one.
Okay, that's
okay.
But to me, it is a definitive answer.
Let's not have cool things.
No,
because people disagree on it. I'll give you a little advice. People in this country tend not to agree on a lot of things.
Amen to that. I think it is definitive. It's D. Brown.
Rennie dunking on Shaq.
Yes. I'm not sure it even happened.
No, it didn't happen. But
yes, that's fine with me. This is what I love about our listeners. They're going to start bringing up just little moments.
Random moments.
This is fantastic. I love this. How about Dickie Beal taking 3 steps for Kentucky? We'll just... No, I'm kidding. That was a bad moment.
If you want to weigh in 359-2255, you can text us on the Cheap Power text line, or you can call us at 217-359-2255.
That executive producer of ours, Austin Berkland, he thinks of things, and that's what we love. It is the Tay and J Show.
Hey, it's Stephanie Pratt with Coldwell Banker of the Real Estate Group. I want you to rock out with me on Saturday, May 20th at the Effingham Performance Center to the legendary Vince Neil, the voice of Motley Crue. all your favorite crew hits, and we'll get a limo down and back with Dwayne at Bishop Platinum Limousine. Go to ESPNCU.com and sign up to win tickets today.
Check out the new BMW of Champaign. It's not like the old Twin City. They have new on-site local ownership since 2013, along with a new state-of-the-art facility. With a Customer First Service Award winner for 2015, BMW of Champaign does business your way. Yes, they have tons of cars. Yes, they'll get you what you want. Yes, they discount, deal, and even pick up and deliver. So stop in, ask for Ben, and give BMW of Champaign a look. BMW of Champaign at the corner of Neal and Burwash in Savoy.
Hi, I'm Troy Lands from Lands Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your Trane Comfort Specialist. Right now is a great time to buy a new Trane heating and cooling system from Lands. For a limited time only, we're offering 0% interest for 6 years. That's no interest with equal payments and approved credit for 6 years on any qualifying Trane system. Or, here's another way you can save on a new Trane heating and cooling system from Lands. Trade in your old system. For a limited time, you can get a $1,000 trade-in allowance on any qualifying Trane system. So pick your best deal. No interest for 6 years or a $1,000 trade-in allowance and start saving. Call 1-800-AIR-REPAIR or find us online at landsinc.com. Remember, it's hard to stop a train. I'm Troy Lands, and you can count on my company because you can count on me.
See Lands for program details. Call 888-653-0051 for details about credit costs and terms. Regular APR is 28.99 for newly opened accounts. APR may vary, subject to credit approval.
This is Rob Meyer with Provident Financial Group. Are you getting the attention you deserve from your broker? When you partner with Provident, you get an advisor who stays focused on you and your family. We work for you. Contact us today to schedule a consultation. Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network. Find us online at ProvidentFinancialGroupLLC.com.
Provident, partnerships built on trust.
Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
Need new tires? How would you like to save $200 on a set of 4 select Goodyear tires? Right now at CarX Tire and Auto, get up to $200 in savings when you purchase a set of 4 Goodyear tires and use the CarX Drive Card credit card. Your Champaign CarX man has the right tires for your vehicle at any of his 3 convenient locations. And now up to $200 off. Stop in, call, or schedule online at CarX.com.
Don't worry, call the CarX man.
See store for details.
It's a familiar place you know. It's a relationship to hold on to. It's a place for families, a part of growing up, and a key to staying healthy. There are warm, friendly faces, people you trust because you know you're in good hands, because you know there's complete passion, professionalism, and heart. If it's your first time or another visit, you get the care you deserve at Illini Smiles Dental Care. Dr. Shu, Dr. Fott, and Dr. Lou and their team are ready to see you now. Illini Smiles Dental Care, 303 West Springfield Avenue in Champaign. Book your visit online today at IlliniSmilesDentalCare.com. That's IlliniSmilesDentalCare.com. Illini Smiles Dental Care. We love to see you smile.
Coach Mike Ditka is not just talking sports. What will he say next? Hear him here Monday and Friday mornings from 7:30 to 8 with Brother Johnny and me, Stevie J, on ESPN Radio 93.5.
In case you've been in your house all day, it's really windy. I just went out to my truck to grab an apple. Like, there are high school regional baseball games and such going on tonight. And Andrew plays, my 10-year-old. He'll blow away. This is crazy. But it is what it is, and it's Illinois weather. And in an hour, it'll be still. No, I doubt it. All right, Tay and J Show. Lonte, Jeremy Warner had a great conversation with Mike Small. We're going to talk to Illini baseball coach Dan Hartlib at 5:25. If you missed Coach Small, we're going to try to replay that before the show is over at 6 o'clock.
All right, we're going to give away 2 pairs of Cardinals tickets. We're going to give away 1 pair right now.
Okay.
And we're going to do a text line question. And it is, which Illini played for the St. Louis Cardinals in 2006 and 2007?
Ooh, I got it.
Which former Illini played for the Cardinals back in 2006, 2007 in honor of Illini Night? The first one to text the right answer to 217-359-2255. That's 359-2255. Win these 2 tickets to Illini Night. That's Cardinals-Giants this Friday, May 19th. So we got 2 tickets to go give away.
Okay.
Which former Illini played for the St. Louis Cardinals back in 2006 and 2007?
I got kind of mad last night watching the Cardinals because last year they could not beat. They won 1 game, I think, against the American League in interleague play, and maybe 2. Maybe they won 2 games, but I think it was 1. And then here comes Boston, and you just immediately start thinking to yourself, all right, Mookie Betts leads off the game with a home run, and I'm like, here we go. Another American League team trots into St. Louis. I know the Cardinals have been playing well, so I shouldn't complain or whine, but I just sit there thinking, this stinks. And, of course, Boston gets it done and wins the game. I have zero confidence in the Cardinals against an American League team. I don't know why. I know they beat Toronto 2 or 3 earlier, but it seems like when the Cardinals play the American League, it does not end well. So I don't know. I just got mad at that.
Did you just think of the losses to American League? I don't know what their record is, interleague.
Last year was like 1 and whatever. It was that bad. And so now, I guess now they're 2 and 2.
Maybe that's why you don't like the DH.
That's probably why. That's it.
I mean, you need another power hitter. And
Lucas asked me the other day.
If you go on the road, you got to play Matt Adams more, and that's usually not a good thing.
Oh, boy. Lucas asked me the other day, will the DH come to the National League?
No.
I think it will eventually.
No, I don't think so.
And you know how much I hate it.
No, I don't think it will.
I just think because the Players Association will vote for that, and the Players Union will vote it in.
Why will they fight for it, though?
Because that will allow more guys to make more money.
Okay, then what are they going to give up?
I don't know.
You got to give up something to just add a DH? I don't think they'll fight for that.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe the
because the one thing
if the management would even care, if the owners would even care.
The one thing about the Major League Baseball Players Association, they own that relationship right now.
They do. There's no doubt.
NFL, those players caved in the last lockout.
It's the opposite.
NBA, it's a little bit more even. Major League Baseball Players Association, because of that strike in '94, they have a great deal going on.
They do.
I don't think they're going to concede just to add a DH.
Okay. I wonder
because that's what the negotiation is, right?
Do you think the owners would even care?
I don't think they. I think the National League loves having the.
Okay, well, I'm glad. I'm part of that.
And I think it's great that it's different. I like that they're a little bit different.
I do too. It's kind of cool. All right, we're going to do a little random over-unders. I like this.
Yeah, Austin has some over-unders. Austin, do you want to moderate our overs and unders that you put together here?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, buddy.
All right, the first one. Do you want to give us a little F-ball?
Oh, yeah, look at him producing for you, Lon.
You know what? Let me click
He's
that.
A pro now.
Ooh. Wait.
Next question.
Oh, this is the wrong... John, we don't need you right now. Stay over there in Akron. Do your job. I'm sorry. I like John Gross. I'm sorry. That was not nice.
Call Javon, okay?
He needs a home.
All right. Random overs and unders.
Call Javon, okay?
Illini golf finished in NCAA final 3.5, so third or fourth. Below or below? Above or below that?
I have a special.
Lon, I know Lon's answer.
I'm going, it'd be below, I guess? I'm going, they're going to win it all.
Okay.
So I'm going below.
I think that's over. I'm going to go that's the over.
Okay, that's the over then.
I'll go under. I think they do not make the semifinals.
That's fair enough.
All right.
This will be tough for them to do that, but hey, we've already knocked Florida out of the way.
That's true.
Get out of here, Florida. Get out of here.
Mark Smith, points per game his freshman year, 11.5.
Over.
I'm going over, too.
There's a lot of points that are going to be scored on this team. And I think he's going to get
close. Is 11.5 close? What would make you hesitate? 14?
If you told me 13.5.
Okay.
Or 12.5, 13, that's where I think I'd put it. But 11.5, I'm going over.
I am, too. I mean, number one, because of this offense, and number two, well, probably number one, there's a lot of shots. And number two, I think Brad Underwood's offense will definitely lend its hand to Mark Smith scoring a lot of points.
Free throw line.
Yes, good call.
Gets to the free throw line a lot. I think that's huge. You know, JCL, that's what he can't do.
Yep.
If JCL had that kind of game, he'd be averaging 16, 17 points.
Totally agree.
Next one, IlliniFootballScout.com, 4-star commit, 0.5.
I'm going to go over on this, and it's not because I'm cheating with Harry Black. I feel good about the tight end, right? Or, the linebacker.
Ayo Dele.
Yes.
Adeo?
I feel good about him, which would put you over.
Yes.
And I think Lovey, come on, these guys got something up their sleeves.
I think they'll get either or both of Dele and Virtus Brown.
Okay.
Who are both 4-star commits right now. Plus, you could have a 3-star that they get in well with that turns into a 4-star like Kendrick Green did last year.
So if I said 2.5.
If you said 1.5, I might go under.
Okay.
2.5, I'd definitely go under.
We're both over, though.
All right. Jed Jerko home runs 29.5.
Dude, over. Who is this guy? Who is this guy?
He's unbelievable
He's
right
a
now.
jerk, man.
He's a jerk. I mean, that kid, listen, he's got a compact swing.
Is that his nickname? Like, do people call him the jerk?
Probably.
Like, did nobody think of that yet?
Is it too easy? It's probably too easy.
It's written for you, right?
Hey, Gio.
So he's got 7 home runs through 122 plate appearances.
He has a short, compact swing. He's going to get plenty of opportunity this year. Yes, he's over that. That's a lot of home runs, too, 2 years in a row.
He doesn't play every day, though, right?
Pretty much. I mean, he's getting to the point where he plays every day.
I'm going to go under.
Okay. All right.
Because I'm a jerk.
Right. Yeah. Why you got to bash on Jerko, man?
Ian Happ, games played for Chicago, 100.5.
Can you just say that one more time?
Ian Happ, games played for Chicago, 100.5.
Here's where I struggle. I might go under with the games played.
Yes.
I don't think he's going back down.
I don't either. No, I agree with you there. I don't think he gets to 100. You've got so many.
I think they're going to trade Javi Baez.
That's a safe bet.
I really think they're going to trade him.
What would you think of that, Austin?
I'd be fine with that because you have the second baseman of the future, Ian Happ, in there, or the center fielder of the future, whatever you want to play him as, and then just have Ben Sobers take the rest of the at-bats that Javi Baez would have.
Okay. Boy, Javi Baez was huge in the postseason, wasn't he? I mean, he was the trigger for that
series.
There's so much swing and miss there. Good defense, but he's got a lot of errors this year.
Yeah.
I mean, good player.
Yeah.
But he's an expendable player for them, and I think he could help get a pitcher.
I'm going to go with you, though. Under 100. That's a lot of games for Ian Happ. Ian Happ.
White Sox traded before the deadline, 2.5.
Over.
What number would you hesitate? 4? 4.5? That's a lot of trades.
4.5, I might go on.
Yeah, that's a lot.
But that's a good
trades.
number.
Okay.
But Robertson's definitely
gone.
Frazier,
Melky, and Frazier.
Okay.
They'll just try and get whatever they can for them. Second half, this is going to be the worst team in baseball.
Okay.
Along with the Padres.
Yeah.
Because they're our brother.
Of course.
Yes, I think they're going to trade as many guys as they can. I mean, Quintana, they want the right price. Even Robertson, they got for another year and a half.
Right.
They can wait for a right price, but this is a good time to trade a reliever.
Okay.
So I think they'll definitely trade those guys. Melky, you got a half year of him. Just get what you can out of him.
Jose Abreu?
I think they'll keep Abreu.
Okay.
And then a couple other relievers they could probably trade, too.
It would be interesting to see Abreu and Quintana on this team in 2 or 3 years as the leaders of this squad as these kids start to develop.
Possible.
It could happen. We're jumping. I love these questions, but we're jumping all over your numbers here. Like
no, it's fine. My numbers are a little conservative, not that aggressive.
What a conservative thinker out of PBL. that Paxton, Illinois. All right,
Ford County and conservative? No way. Number of games in a Warriors-Cavs NBA Finals, 5.5.
I'm going over.
I am, too.
I think this is going to be a doozy.
If we went 6.5, what would you do?
Over. It's 7.
I'd go under.
Would you?
Yeah,
you think it's going to be done in 6?
I think the Warriors in 6.
Okay. I think it goes 7. Does Golden State have home ice?
Yes, they have home court advantage.
They have home court.
The Blues are done long.
Oh, they are done.
Yeah.
Dang it. Nashville, by the way. Okay. No, I'm going 7. My mom has sworn since the day she was born that the NBA Finals are rigged. Even though I've explained to her there have been some that have only gone 5 games, she swears it's rigged to go 7, so I'm going with my mom on this. I'm going over.
Jordan went 6 every time.
Did he really?
Never had a 7-game series in the NBA Finals.
Well, Mom disagrees with that.
By the way, yes, the winner was Scott Spezio.
Yes.
Played for the Cardinals in 2006 and 2007.
Austin, thank you. Appreciate it. All right, next hour, Illini baseball coach Dan Hartleb, and we'll reminisce Lon's day in West Lafayette. It was fun. It was windy. I'm tired. It is the Tay and J Show.
Check out the new BMW Champaign. It's not like the old Twin City. They have new on-site local ownership since 2013, along with a new state-of-the-art facility. With a Customer First Service Award winner for 2015, BMW Champaign does business your way. Yes, they have tons of cars. Yes, they'll get you what you want. Yes, they discount, deal, and even pick up and deliver. So stop in, ask for Ben, and give BMW of Champaign a look. BMW of Champaign at the corner of Neal and Burwash in Savoy.
Guidance, trust, protection, service. It's the mantra of GTPS Insurance. When you work with GTPS, you'll never have to call an 800 number in a different state. You deal with people who live and work in our community and know it's important to your business. GTPS is your local source for business insurance, property, general liability, workers' compensation, and group health insurance, and they'll work with you to formulate the best package for the needs of you and your business. Contact a GTPS insurance agent today at 359-9000 or visit online at gtpsinsurance.com.
There's nothing better than real Texas barbecue, and no better place to get it than Hickory River Smokehouse. Every cut of beef brisket, pork shoulder, turkey breast, pork loin, and chicken are carefully selected and rubbed with its signature spice blend, infused with hickory smoke for a juicy award-winning flavor, and served up right here in Central Illinois for over 20 years. So come on in for a taste as big as Texas. Dine in, take it home, or serve it up to the entire gang on North Cunningham in Urbana.
Hey, this is Brad again with Kramer Siding and Window Company, and for over 60 years, we've been providing worry-free home improvements. If you've thought about either siding, windows, maybe you need to replace that roof, how about a deck, a pergola, awnings? We also have the four-season sunrooms and screen rooms, or the gutter helmet. If any of those home improvements are in your near future, call us right now at Kramer Siding or stop by our beautiful showroom at 708 North Country Fair Drive.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Fox News Radio, I'm Kathleen Maloney.
You have to act properly, and you have to learn how to act under great, great pressure.
President Trump, addressing graduates of the Coast Guard Academy in New London, Connecticut, is under plenty of pressure himself after news reports raised suspicions that he may have interfered with an FBI investigation. Fox's Jared Halpern has the latest live on Capitol Hill.
Ousted FBI Director James Comey has been requested by multiple congressional committees to answer questions about a memo he wrote detailing President Trump's request to end an investigation into former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn.
I think people in America turn on the TV and they think this is all that's happening. This is all we're doing and all we're discussing. That's just not the case.
House Speaker Paul Ryan does not endorse a special prosecutor or independent panel, noting the two different congressional panels are already investigating all things Russia. Kathleen.
Thanks, Jared. A Senate aide says the Intelligence Committee has received some material it requested from two of the president's associates. The committee asked for lists of meetings with Russian officials during the presidential campaign and transition. President Trump interviewed possible FBI directors to succeed James Comey at the White House, among them acting director Andrew McCabe, former Oklahoma Governor Frank Keating, FBI official Richard McFeely, and former Connecticut Senator Joe Lieberman. Heavy losses on Wall Street as investors react to the turmoil in Washington.
I think people are concerned about the presidency, and there was a lot of optimism after he got elected.
You know, he's kind of wondering when was the bottom going to come in. This looks like it might actually be it.
The Dow plunging 372 points, S&P sinking 43 points, NASDAQ falling 158 points. It is the worst close for the markets since last September. Fox News Radio, fair and balanced.
When you're hiring for a growing business, you don't need lots of candidates. You need the right candidates. You need Indeed.com. With an algorithm that positions your job post where quality candidates are and screener questions that help you zero in on the best talent. Indeed.com, the site proven through an independent study to deliver 5 times more hires than any other. New users claim your $50 credit for a sponsored job at Indeed.com/credit. Indeed, the world's #1 job site. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
Here's a little ditty about that John Deere mower deck that mows faster, better. It's not how fast you mow, my friends, it's how well you mow fast. If you just mow fast but your yard looks bad, then you got a lot of ugly grass. You need a John Deere to take care of your yard. You need a Z-Track Z3 45R. It's not how fast you mow, my friends, it's how well you mow fast. The XL deck's got more capacity for yards like yours that get to grassity. Want to mow well in a higher gear? See a John Deere dealer, nothing runs like a deer.
It's just in. The Justice Department has appointed former FBI head Robert Mueller to oversee an investigation into the Trump-Russia connection in the 2016 election, picking up the pieces in the central part of the country.
2 deaths blamed on a powerful system of storms that caused tornadoes from Texas up to the Great Lakes states, and forecasters say there's still a big risk of severe weather in the upper Midwest today. Then the threat shifts back to the lower plains Thursday. Right now, first responders searching for any other potential victims as anxious residents return home. A very difficult day for those who lost a loved one or are returning to a flattened house. In Wisconsin, the Barron County Sheriff describes the damage of a mobile home park as total devastation, and in Oklahoma, up to 75 homes destroyed. In Chicago, Matt Finn, Fox News.
Milwaukee County Sheriff David Cook has accepted a job as Assistant Secretary in the Department of Homeland Security. He's popular among conservatives and a strong supporter of President Trump's immigration policies. Michael Moore is going after President Trump again.
He has secretly been filming a new documentary titled Fahrenheit 11/9, which refers to the date Mr. Trump became president-elect. It is also a play on words from his 2004 George W. Bush documentary, Fahrenheit 9/11. According to Page 6, the Weinstein Group acquired worldwide rights to the film, which they will shop at the Cannes Film Festival. Moore said of his newest project, no matter what you throw at Donald Trump, it hasn't worked. That all ends with this movie. Michelle Polino, Fox News.
Republican Senator Tom Tillis of North Carolina appears to be okay after collapsing during a Washington, D.C. road race. He was taken away by ambulance, but has posted a Twitter video from his hospital bed saying, "Hey, everybody, I'm fine." I'm Kathleen Maloney, Fox News Radio.
Here's your ESPN Radio 3-day forecast brought to you by Chief Bauer. Trust the experts at Chief Bauer Service Experts to keep you cool all spring and summer long. Call 866-EXPERTS or visit them online at chiefbauer.com. Thunderstorms possible at 6:45 starting tonight. Partly cloudy tonight, low of 67. Thursday, mostly sunny, high 87, low of 51. Friday, thunderstorms cool us off a little bit, high 69, a low of 60. Right now, mostly sunny, 81, and windy in Champaign-Urbana.
Really? My head itches.
Hat hair?
Does that happen to you?
Yeah. Well, it used to.
Oh, yeah. I need a haircut again.
It is Drive Time, presented by Honda BMW of Champaign. For new and used vehicles, visit their huge inventory at the corner of Neal and Burwash in Savoy, or visit them online at drivechampaign.com. Well, on today, this will recap the first 2 hours of the Tay and J Show.
Well, Jeremy Warner, I can honestly tell you that at 11 o'clock Central Time, standing in West Lafayette at Camping Course, or whatever it's called, I did not think Illinois golf was going to advance to the NCAA Finals. Camping is correct. Scorecard to prove it.
Mm-hmm.
They, all of a sudden, within about a 45-minute time, went out and all of a sudden they're in. They're in the NCAA Finals. It's improbable. And Mike Small said that. He mentioned to us when we talked to him today, if you follow college golf, it was insurmountable almost for what this team was able to do. Now, they got a lot of help. They got a lot of help from teams and from the weather, and everybody came back. But this Illinois team was steady, and that's the word you used earlier, and they got themselves to the NCAA Finals.
Through 12 holes, they were down 6 strokes from being in the top 5. The top 5 from each regional advanced to the NCAA championships.
Every time you checked, it was 5, 6, 7. They were always down 5, 6, or 7 strokes, and it's like, we're running out of time, boys.
And then around hole 15, Mike Small said he grabbed each guy around 14, 15 and said, you got to go one under the rest of the way. And a lot of them came pretty dang close. Dylan Meyer did. Dylan was having a bad tournament, and Coach Small told us he hadn't played golf the 2 previous weeks because he was sick.
Right.
And even at the Big Ten tournament, there was a start to being sick. So he hadn't played golf in a while, probably wasn't feeling all that well, but didn't have his touch. But towards the end, a birdied 15, birdied 17, he bogeyed 18, but that was huge for them to get that kind of momentum going into the clubhouse. Nick Hardy was awesome today. 14 and 15, he birdied, then he parred the rest of the way. He went 2 under today and shared medalist honors. Split tie for first place in that event. Liparelli and Tadiotto both had birdies on the back 5.
Unreal.
They bogeyed the final 2 holes, but at this course, with how bad that wind was at 40 miles an hour today,
straight in your face on 17 and 18.
Bogeys at the end of it, those were as good as pars because every other team basically blew up. New Mexico went from 6 under starting today to 16 over. They lost 22 strokes today. Purdue was 15 over today. And Florida, the 5th team in the country, was 24 over. Illinois had the best score today at 6 over par between their top 4 golfers. That is the heart and mindset of a championship program. Illinois didn't win the regional, but they survived and advanced through 45 holes of subpar play for them.
Without a doubt.
The final 9, they turned it on and gave themselves a chance, and now they go to their home state course up at Rich Harvest Farms in Sugar Grove next week with a chance to compete again for an NCAA championship, the 10th straight year they've advanced to the NCAA championship.
You know what I love, too? I was talking to somebody today that's in the know, and they said that Hardy and Meyer have not come together, had huge days together. That still has not happened this year, and that's why I've got a special feeling coming up about this NCAA final. The other thing, when we talked to Mike Small, and I said to him, essentially, Coach, I was there. I didn't think it was going to happen. And Mike was like, what's sad is some of our players almost had that look of, we're kind of pouting here, and we're not playing well, and this isn't going to happen, and yet they did. It happened, and now they survived, now they advance, and now he's going to use that as a teaching tool to say, guys, you cannot do this. You cannot have that kind of an attitude out there. And, of course, he being who he is, the best coach in college golf, talked to all of them, like you said, gave them a little snippet that they forgot everything that had happened to that point. All they did was set their sights ahead. They went out and got it done, and now they'll compete on or in their home state for an NCAA final. And congrats to Nick Hardy, like you said. I mean, tied for individual medalists. We hardly talk about him today because he just goes out and gets it done.
He's great.
This is what he's built for.
The story was Dylan Meyer until he turned it around at the very end. He had the worst score of the top 4. Liparelli and Tadiotto, just huge tournaments.
Solid.
They give him solid scores, and that's a huge reason Illinois won. Thiegels, the freshman who's been their number 3 golfer most of the year,
which is unreal.
Didn't have a good tournament at all. Was 19 over for the tournament, 7 over for the day. So he didn't have a good tournament. But the other 4 stepped up, especially Dylan towards the end. And this team has depth. They have talent going to the NCAA championships. I know most people thought this was a rebuilding year. And halfway through the round today, you're thinking, yep, it is.
It is.
This team's talented enough to win it.
I agree.
They are. They got to have things go right like it did today. But they're capable of putting themselves in that position.
It's fantastic.
And we can never say enough how great Mike Small is.
Oh, he's unbelievable.
I mean, he's the reason for all of this.
I mean, like we talked about yesterday, and the fact that after that round ended yesterday, and they're sit there, 5 shots out with one, round of 18 left. Would you want is there anybody else in the country that you would want talking to your team? And his team. But Mike Small, he's going to sit there and talk to them about everything that's happened. And he told you asked about this team in general. Is there another team like it? And he said no. He's like, there really isn't a team that he's coached.
Challenging team.
Yes.
The personalities maybe don't mesh as I don't know how I say mesh as well, but he said they're a little bit more challenging to where I kind of have to push different buttons different ways. So that's a challenge for him. Every year's a unique year.
It is.
But maybe they figured it out this weekend. I think this is a huge learning experience for them. And the fact that they were able to survive today and succeed when few other teams are succeeding in those kind of conditions, that can give you a lot of confidence going to the NCAA championships.
And by the way, we don't have a time yet, but the entire golf team is coming into the studio tomorrow to visit with us on the Tay and J Show. I cannot wait for that.
We also had a really fun topic. Norm Roberts is going to get a statue at Mizzou outside their basketball
arena. How about
arena.
A statue of Quinn Snyder with popcorn in his hair? Now that would be a solid statue.
He's having a really good NBA career.
He really is,
as a head
isn't he?
coach.
Good for him.
So we put out a poll question. Austin Berkland, our producer, thought of the topic. If Illini basketball had a statue, what would it be? 52% going with the D. Brown jersey pop.
Okay.
24% say Lou Henson. We discussed. Lou makes a lot of sense.
He does.
He's got the court named after him.
He's got the court.
Darren Williams' shot got 20%. Nick Anderson's shot got 4%. The thing you could do is you could put Lou, Nick, Kenny Battle You know, the kind of raising the hands as they won the Final Four.
That wasn't cool.
It's hard to leave out Kendall out of that group. And Bardo.
Right, and Bardo. That'd be tough. I think D. Brown is the one. I think that's the one. If you had a statue outside of the State Farm Center of D. Brown, I think that would be so cool. And I mentioned to you, how about name the two main entrances, figure out a way to do it after 05 team and after the 89 team. Then again, you're leaving out the Whiz Kids. You're leaving out a lot of that stuff.
You're leaving out somebody at some point.
You're always leaving
Can't give
somebody
trophies and statues to everybody.
And if we make another Final Four, we just rip it all down and we build a third entrance.
Austin said we should build a Mark Smith statue already.
I'm fine with that.
Mizzou makes a Jeremiah Tillman one. The Cubs got back in it. 4 home runs and a win over the Reds last night. Hit a fly ball, you hit a home run.
Wiffle ball at Wrigley.
Russell, Schwarber, Rizzo, Happ go deep. Joe Madden wins his 1,000th game.
Good for him.
Are the Cubs back? Are they back?
Yes, he says. They probably are.
Well, yeah, he's 10-game homestand against bad teams.
Yeah, you should be back with
Win
that.
7 of them.
Hey, you know
Cubs,
what?
Come on.
This is what they need, and we know they've got the ability to do it. So, they're back.
Hendricks against Feldman tonight.
Okay.
Gets to reunite with Feldman, who brought you Arrieta.
Scott Feldman.
Yeah.
It's funny that he has a connection now to the Cubs. Remember, he was the guy. He was pitching for the Rangers when the Cardinals beat the Rangers.
So do Cubs fans stand up and give a standing ovation to Scott Feldman tonight?
They got you Arrieta. I mean, no.
Come on, man.
Well, the best fans in baseball down south would.
Yeah.
We'd be standing going,
because they truly understand the game.
That's exactly right.
Unlike the Northside fans.
I am proud to say I'm a St. Louis Cardinal fan.
It's like the Celtics last night where Paul Pierce said, hey, you're welcome, Celtics fans, for the trade to get him the number 1 pick.
This year and next, maybe. Unbelievable.
The Cardinals allow 3 unearned runs and a 6-3 loss to the Red Sox. They always, there's like 10 games where they just beat themselves.
They do. Kevin Wheeler put out something today on Twitter about with an unearned run, what their record is compared to when they don't give up one. It's unbelievable. And last night, routine grounder to Colton Wong. He bobbles it, throws quick. Matt Carpenter doesn't pick it out. He doesn't even have to pick it. He just drops it.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, guys, you both stunk on that play. Wong, you stunk on just the throw. Carp, you just stunk on trying to catch it. When that stuff happens and you just play dirty baseball like that, they're just not very good when they do. But I'm not going to complain.
You got Cy Leak on the hill tonight against Cy Porcello. That's Drive Time, presented by Honda BMW of Champaign. For new and used vehicles, visit their huge inventory at the corner of Neal and Burwasher Savoy, or visit them online at drivechampaign.com.
Dan Hartlib, Illini baseball coach, joins us next. It is the Tay and J Show.
ESPN Radio Sports Beat. From Charlotte, here's Dari Noka.
Since the Larry Bird era, tonight could cap the greatest 3-day stretch in Celtics history. It started Monday, Game 7 win over the Wizards, on to the conference finals. Last night, thanks to a trade with Brooklyn 4 years ago, helped by the fact that the Nets continue to stink, the Celtics ended up with the first pick in next month's draft. First of all, that's just unfair, but it's really good negotiating from Danny Ainge 4 years ago. And then there's tonight, Game 1 at home against the Cavs. They played all season for this top seed. Of course, the Cavs' reluctance to be these Cavaliers helped too, but that season of work and fortune to land as the 1 seed won't mean a single thing if Boston cannot beat the 10 days of rest Cavaliers tonight. Here's to hoping they do. This run the Warriors and Cavs are on in the playoffs, 18-0 so far, is about as exciting as watching grass grow. Come on, C's, give us a little drama. You're on a heck of a run right now. In 60 seconds. Really, Lonzo?
This is Bill's yard, and Bill's a grill master, not a grass expert. Still, no weeds belong in this backyard barbecue kingdom. And with Scott's Turf Builder Weed and Feed, Bill's greasy thumb is just as good as a green thumb. Because Scott's thickens lawns to help crowd out over 50 pesky weeds. So Bill can defeat invaders, green up his lawn, and hold his spatula high. This is a Scott's yard. Pick up Scott's Weed and Feed today.
There are 2 things every parent wants when their child goes to college. For their child to do well, and a way to afford it. Now, with Discover Student Loans, parents can have the best of both worlds. Not only do our loans cover up to 100% of school-certified costs with 0 fees, but we'll give them a cash reward for each new student loan if they earn at least a 3.0 GPA or equivalent. That means every A in history or B in math could help them earn a cash reward for good grades. Just one of the many ways we treat you like you'd treat you. Apply now in 15 minutes or less at discoverstudentloans.com. Limitations apply.
Hey, this isn't how it works. You don't pick your pro team. You pick your college team, and then the team picks you, and you're happy to play for that team. Unless you're like John Elway, Eli Manning, or a few others. But even then, you might say, I don't want to play for that team. You don't say, I only want to play for that team. Now Lonzo Ball says he might only work out for the Lakers, and that a source within the Ball camp says, it's been clear from the start our desired destination is Los Angeles. And it's highly possible he'll get his way because LA picks second, and hopefully not because down the road he or his camp tells Boston, don't draft us at 1, we'll make your life a living hell. Yet would that surprise anybody? Probably not. At first I thought it was his dad, whose name I refused to say, that was going to impact public perception of Lonzo himself. But now I'm not so sure Lonzo needs any help. He's on his way to being the NBA's biggest villain. Have fun with that. With the ESPN Radio Sports Beat, I'm Dari Noka.
Are you looking for a new home or planning to refinance your existing home? Hi, this is Todd Durakan from First Federal Savings Bank of Champaign-Urbana, getting you and your home faster with loan closings in 30 days. Mortgage loans and refinancing that's fast, friendly, and local. We invite you to visit our experienced team of mortgage experts to find out how First Federal Savings Bank can help you with your loan closing in 30 days. For more information, visit 356bank.com. First Federal Savings Bank of Champaign-Urbana. Get what you want out of life. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Exciting indoor football is back Saturday, May 20th with the Bloomington Edge indoor football team at the Coliseum in Bloomington. Saturday, May 20th, head to Bloomington to see the Bloomington Edge take on Liberty at 1:05 p.m. Buy your tickets now at bloomingtonedge.net. May 20th is Education Day, and the Bloomington Edge will attempt to set a state record for the biggest game of musical chairs at halftime with kids 12 and under. They'll also be honoring distinguished officers from the Department of Corrections and saluting athletes from Special Olympics of Illinois. Don't miss this game. Buy your tickets at bloomingtonedge.net or call 484-840-EDGE.
Protecting your home and family, you better have a plan. Keep them safe from harm with a home alarm from F.E. Moran. Home invasions are on the rise all across the land, but they'll think twice when they see the sign for F.E. Moran. Don't wait till it's too late, it's time to make a stand. Call 877-F.E. Moran. F.E. Moran. Alarm.
Hi, it's Stevie J. Start your day with me along with Diane Ducey, weekday morning 7 to 9, here on ESPN Radio 93.5.
The things our interns do, I just crack up, man. Hey, your dedication to education, that's kind of a cool little sentence right there.
Conjunction.
What's your function?
Dude, you've been loving these Busey reads.
I have, man. Your dedication to education paid off. Your college diploma is in hand. And as you enter the workforce, prepare for your financial future with Busey. From personal finance to business lending and beyond, Busey has the resources to transition from the classroom to the boardroom. And they remind you to exercise smart spending habits. Think before you make major purchases like a new car. And please don't max out credit cards. Instead, focus on building an emergency fund, paying down debt, and saving for retirement. And you can do that by creating a budget. And they can help. Busey can by visiting their resource center on Busey.com. Graduation is a great time to start on the right foot financially. Let Busey put you on the path to success with customized solutions to your financial needs. Visit Busey.com or stop by one of their many convenient locations today.
Big day for Illini Golf. We'll play back some of that Mike Small audio from earlier today. They advanced to the NCAA championships with a phenomenal first round. Nick Hardy shares medalist honors, but Illinois was down about 6 strokes from outside the top 5. They end up being third because they had a strong finish, and everyone else came free falling, especially Florida.
Crazy.
Shot 24 over. UNLV won the tournament, but Purdue falls down. They go down to 5, and Illinois finds a spot to advance to the NCAA championships at Rich Harvest Farm.
Someone tweeted me, and it's not official because we don't know for sure, but he said that that birdie by Dylan Meyer on 17 is the only one that happened, the only birdie on that hole that day, and I don't doubt it. I mean, that hole was, if you bogeyed that hole, you were ahead of the field. And if you double bogeyed, you were about even with the field. That's how hard that par 3 played. So Dylan Meyer gets it done. Good stuff for the Illini Golf. And now we will talk to the kids in studio in the 5 o'clock hour, it sounds like, tomorrow. So we'll have the entire team in here to visit with them, and I can't wait to ask them about yesterday and kind of their emotions halfway through this round today. Did you honestly feel like this thing was over?
What will be your biggest memory from being there?
Besides the win?
Yeah, seeing it up close in person.
It's when Mike Small talked to Dylan Meyer on 15. Because I honestly, for 3 holes, wanted to go up to Mike Small and say, will you go talk to Dylan Meyer?
Would you do your job, Coach?
Yeah, come on. Quit slacking over here.
Why you got him on the hot seat all the time?
Quit being a Hartlib and go do. No, I'm kidding. Oh, Dan is listening too. I'm kidding, Coach. You know that. No, but it was the moment when all of a sudden, and Mike picked the perfect time to go talk to Dylan Meyer. And whether it's coincidence or not, Meyer hits he's about 150 out, and he knocks it to about a foot from the pin and taps in for birdie.
Yeah.
And I was just, and I even said, I felt, it's almost like when a guy like Dan Hartlib would go talk to a pitcher. As a fan, you just feel comfortable because it's like, all right, they're telling them to calm down, and it's calming me down in general. But that'll be the memory I remember, and the birdie at 17.
Illini baseball coach Dan Hartlib was joining us now on the Jupiters of the Crossing phone line.
I'm scared to go to him.
Dan, how close do you follow stuff like this when Illinois golfs, in an NCAA regional?
Well, Mike's a very good friend. I have great respect for what he's done, and I was on and off my phone all day checking their score to see how well they did. So we all follow each other, and we all cheer and root for each other. And he's done a lot of special things here. So it was awesome to watch today.
Yeah, I know. Lon was talking about Mike picking the moment to go talk to a player. How do you determine that, Mike? When to go to a player and what to say?
Well, over time, you get to know them. You get to know their body language. So many times when things go wrong for athletes, everything that they do speeds up. You can tell them their facial expressions by the way they walk, just little reaction type things, and that's usually when you have to go try to get them refocused. There's other times that you just leave them alone because everything seems to be going, and you don't want to mess it up. So I wouldn't say it's a fine science, but again, you just get to learn your kids just like you do at home.
Right.
When things aren't going well, when you need to talk to them, when they're not acting what would be considered normal.
That's so cool to hear.
And Mike was saying that this has been a unique challenge for him. I mean, every team's different, and he said this team he's still learning about at this point of the year. Feels like you've had that kind of challenge too. I mean, what have been the different challenges for this team for you this year?
I'm sorry. I'm standing out in the wind, and I didn't hear that whole thing.
Yeah, well, Mike was talking about how this has been a unique challenge this year because he's still learning about his team and some of the players. Are you kind of having a similar challenge? I mean, what have been the challenges for you as a coach this year?
It's been an interesting year. We talked early, and we have so many guys without experience that are forced into contributing. They really did a good job early in the year trying to compete. But when young kids try to compete and really don't know how to compete in the game of baseball, they generally overthrow and speed things up and overswing and try to do too much. And so as we moved forward into the season, we started to relax and just started to let talent take over. And I thought our guys really did a good job and was really proud of what they had done. And then, I said this a couple times this week, I hate being right, but my fear was when we got in a situation where, you had X number of games and you had to win a certain amount to put us in tournament play, I was hopeful that we would stay relaxed and not try to do too much. And, we've had a few guys that have tried to do too much because they want to win so badly. So it's been an interesting year. I've told people it's been one of my most rewarding years. You want to win 50 games each year, but if you look at the growth that we've had this year and the way the guys have reacted, the way they've worked, their attitude, it's been very, very rewarding, and long-term it's going to be very good for the program.
That's cool to hear. That's really cool to hear. Dan Hartlib must have the best phone in the business, or he found a spot without wind, because I don't even know how he's hearing us. We won't go much longer, Coach, because I know that is difficult, but I want to bring up, you start the series with Iowa tomorrow, and then you've got Lou Boudreau Day coming up on Friday and all of that event. Talk a little bit about what all is going on for the fans and the team this weekend.
Well, first of all, we need to go in and we need to win 3 games
to
put ourselves in, any type of contention for the Big Ten tournament. A lot of things have to happen that we can't control, and that's never a good situation to be in. But, we're playing each and every game to win, as we always do, but we're not looking ahead to the third game. We've got to go into inning number 1 and do a good job there and move forward. As you look at Friday, we do have a couple of big promotions. We have our Bleacher Bum Barbecue. We have our Lou Boudreau Honor Day. We're honoring Lou's 25th year since we retired his number, and also his induction into the Hall of Fame, which is going to happen this summer.
Awesome.
And we're going to have, I think, up to 14 of his family members back, including 2 of his children. So, we're really looking forward to that. We're playing the weather game again right now, trying to figure out, different scenarios. All I would say is, people should really watch our website to see. I think we're very good for a 6:00 game tomorrow, at least at this point. If Saturday looks like it would rain all day, then we may have to play a doubleheader on Friday. If that were the case, all the promotions would take place between games, and we would also push Senior Day up in between games along with the Lou Boudreau honor.
Okay.
Coach, you have a lot of baseball left to play. You got some in front of you here. But what can you take from this year that you'll take in the next offseason that can make that next year's team, kind of that season that you've been waiting for again?
Well, the one thing, if you look at a game like we had last Sunday where we have 1 out in the 9th inning, we're up 7-4, and the next thing you know, we lose in that inning. Very, very disappointing. Just watching reactions of guys after the game, not fake reactions, but true reactions. We had a long trip back. You have about an hour ride to the airport from Rutgers to Newark Airport in the traffic, and then watching them around the airport, and then our drive back from Chicago into Champaign. It was dead silence the whole time. And so, it's important to our guys. It's important to the young guys. We've had great senior leadership. Two guys in particular have been some of the best leaders that we've ever had, and the group as a whole has done a very good job with the young guys. But, we've gotten better, and this group really cares. It hurts that, we're not having the success that we're used to in our program. And so I think if you put attitude along with desire and the youth that we have, and you move that a year or two forward, I think we're going to have a lot of fun times with this group in the future.
Well, Coach, good luck finishing strong. Iowa in town starts tomorrow night, 6:00, and then everybody needs to watch FightingIllini.com to make sure things go off as normal. Coach, good luck, buddy, and we'll talk to you soon.
No problem. Thank you very much.
Okay, Dan. Thank you. Dan Hartlib, Illini baseball coach. I knew that was going to be a tough interview once you found out he was outside. I'm not kidding you. If you've stepped outside.
I know, but it sounded great.
He sounded great.
Usually get the you didn't even have any of that.
Like you're in a car or something, and it was great. So we appreciate Dan Hartlib.
I know. Found a phone booth. Do those exist anymore?
No, I don't.
Where is the closest phone booth?
That's a great question. 359-2255.
Is there a bank of payphones anywhere?
Or a payphone. Just a phone. Actually, a payphone is so rare. A phone booth, I don't even think they exist.
Those were everywhere before.
Everywhere.
Kids gather around. Let me tell you a tale.
What was the movie with Keanu?
Calls and all that?
Keanu Reeves or whatever. The Matrix?
Yeah, The Matrix. I mean, there were payphones everywhere.
Yeah, that made that cool.
That was 2000, 1999 when that movie came out?
Kids, Jeremy may have to go a little, you may have to go,
story time?
Yeah, story time and tell everybody what payphones were and phone booths. Although, do you remember a phone booth?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, I couldn't remember how. You're getting old.
I know.
The kids are growing up.
Yeah,
I love it.
I got my own kid now.
All right, I'm going to go watch Andrew play baseball in 90-mile-an-hour wind.
I want to go down a list with Austin.
Okay.
Of possible pitchers the Cubs could trade for. Yeah.
He's got a list.
Yeah. I wanted to hear this one more time.
And then before we get out of here, we'll hear a little bit of Mike Small's interview that we had in the 4 o'clock.
All right, I'll talk to everybody tomorrow. Can't wait to visit with the Illini players. It's Tay and J Show.
Legendary voice of Motley Crue, Vince Neil. Performing all your favorite Motley Crue hits. Saturday night, May 20th at 8 at Effingham Performance Center. Vince Neil live. Reserve seats on sale now. Kickstart with Vince Neil live.
If you dream about owning a garden, a grill, or a garage, you're ready to own a home. Busey promises to provide the answers and support you need to find the best financing package for you. With free pre-qualifications, you can shop for your home knowing all of your options. Visit Busey.com or stop by one of our many convenient locations for solutions to your banking and wealth management needs. Busey, your dream, our promise. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
At Lowe's, we know that pros need to be ready. Ready to roll felt, ready to cap, ready to shingle. And during Lowe's Ready to Raise the Roof event, pro customers should get ready to save big with up to 20% on GAF shingles every day when they buy in bulk. Plus, now through May 25th at Lowe's, pros can save up to 30% off select Hitachi nailers and pneumatic accessories. See the Pro Desk in-store for details. Shingle offer applies to contractor packs. Selection varies by store, U.S. only.
Got a question? Talk to our experts now at StevieJay.com. Experts are there, ready to answer your questions for free. Home improvement questions. Our experts from Land, Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing can help. Need help with home remodeling? Talk to our service experts from Flooring Services, where the world is at your feet. Need to pay for those home improvements? Talk to our financial experts from the U of I Community Credit Union. They are the Stevie J Broadcasting experts. Ask an expert today at StevieJay.com. That's StevieJay.com.
Oh, hey, hi, hello there. It's me, your air conditioner. You can call me AC if you want, but Mr. Conditioner is my dad's name. Okay, listen, you may have noticed that I'm using a lot of energy right now, and that's why you need to call an expert. Yep, the experts can give me a precision tune-up, so you'll save up to 30% on energy bills, and I won't have to work so hard, which is great because I'm about to pass out.
At Chief Power Service Experts, save $41 off an AC precision tune-up. Call 866-EXPERTS or visit chiefpower.com. For expert service guaranteed.
Call 866-EXPERTS.
When you're heading home, Tay and J are on your way talking sports. Weekday afternoons 3 to 6 here on ESPN Radio 93.5.
Hello, I'm Austin Berkman with your 5:30 Sports Center update brought to you by Prairie View Landscaping. Email mypvdiscount@gmail.com for a free quote. That's mypvdiscount@gmail.com. They did it, Tess. Oh, my. What a comeback the Illini put on. They started the day in 6th place and 5 shots back. But with timely pars and birdies, Illinois is officially headed to the NCAA Finals with a final score of plus 14. Nick Hardy led the Illini shooting 1 under par. This is the Illini's 10th straight time advancing to the NCAA Finals. Finals are taking place in Sugar Grove, Illinois at the Rich Harvest Farms Golf Course, May 26th through the 31st. Hey, the Cubs bats came alive last night in a 9-5 win over the Cincinnati Reds. Ian Happ, Kyle Schwarber, Anthony Rizzo, and Addison Russell all went deep. Joe Madden collected his 1,000th career victory as manager. The Reds and Cubs meet again tonight at 7:05 and at Scott Feldman versus Kyle Hendricks as the pitching matchup. Listen to the game on our sister station, US 105.9. The Cardinals fell the Boston Red Sox 6-3 from Busch Stadium yesterday evening. Mookie Betts and Jackie Bradley Jr. both went deep with the Sox. Tonight, it's last year's AL Cy Young winner Rick Porcello taking on the NL ERA leader Mike Leake. Listen to the game right here on ESPN CU 93.5. Pre-game starts at 6:25. First pitch, 7:15. The White Sox didn't allow a Mike Trout home run, so consider that a small victory in last night's 7-6 11-inning loss to the Angels. They line up again tonight in Los Angeles. It's Gonzalez versus Shoemaker for a late 9:07 first pitch.
Stick to the plan, boys. Stick to the plan. You're doing well lately.
The Eagles, they made a move. They signed running back LeGarrette Blount to a one-year deal. Giants and Cardinals both showed interest in the 30-year-old running back. Blount scored 18 touchdowns last year for the New England Patriots. Not my friend. It's the Sports Center update.
It is the Tay and J Show, ESPN Radio 93.5. Lon hates this buffer music, so I played it. So I'm sure he's listening to us on his way out. I'm Jeremy Warner. He's Austin Berkman. We'll play a little bit of Mike Small audio that we played earlier. But Austin, as a Cubs fan, you're back to 500, right?
Yes, that's the first step.
Feeling a little bit better about yourself with Ian Happ and all these guys going yard yesterday?
Yeah, Kyle Schwarber and Anthony Rizzo had to get going in the worst way possible. I know it's nice for Addison Russell to get going, but his defense comes first and foremost.
Yeah.
When Kyle Schwarber and Anthony Rizzo aren't doing much, that's a problem offensively.
I'm not worried about the offense.
I was a little bit
really not.
With
I
Kyle
think they're
Schwarber.
streaky. I think they're streaky and they strike out a lot, right?
And Chris Bryant seemed to be the only guy immune to a cold streak at the moment. But Rizzo and Schwarber, they were cold in the worst way.
Okay, so Jeff Passan of Yahoo Sports wrote a column, and I think a lot of national guys have done this. Calm down, Cubs fans. I don't think a lot of Cubs fans are going crazy.
No.
But I do think it's fair to have concerns. It's like with Illinois football recruiting, right? Like, I don't think you should be at panic level, but I do think there are some concerns you have. And I think the biggest one is the starting pitching. And the fifth role, we'll see if Eddie Butler can keep this up. Hendricks has been better.
Mm-hmm.
I think Arrieta is now a solid pitcher, not the elite pitcher. Lester, I think, is definitely still a number one.
Yeah.
But John Lackey's been struggling a little bit too. But he's battling and giving you a chance. So I do think they'll be in a market for starting pitcher. And Jeff Passan said they're already blanketing the market and seeing what's out there with starting pitchers. So I want to throw these names at you, and you let me know if you are really interested in these guys, kind of interested in these guys, or not interested at all.
Okay.
All right? So this is from Jeff Passan. He throws out these names. Jose Quintana.
I'm very interested, but I don't think it's going to happen just simply due that it seems a little too perfect, that those perfect deals never get made. Right. And a trade between the Cubs and White Sox seems rare.
Very unlikely.
Last one was like, what, John Garland?
And my price, the first price I go with is the White Sox GM would be Eloy Jimenez, Ian Happ, Dylan Cease.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That would be my price. I don't think the Cubs will match it. And, Happ's had a nice start, but I think he's a good prospect, good hitting prospect that fits a lot what the White Sox need. But it's hard for me to find another package at work. I mean, Happ, you're not going to trade Happ and Baez in the same deal. And that's like the kind of package I think it would take. Happ, Cease, and another guy, you don't have those guys that kind of pop out to me. So I don't think that's going to happen. Jeremy Hellickson of the Phillies.
Meh.
I think that's
just a lot of meh.
I don't think there's an upgrade there.
That is a great three starter to me, but I want a top of the rotation guy, especially in another deep postseason run.
And a long-term guy.
Mm-hmm.
I think who the Cubs go for, unless it's another name I bring up that I think is a sexier name. But how about Garrett Cole? Garrett Cole of the Pirates.
I love that pitcher. But again, we're dealing with an intra-division thing, and the price would be exorbitant. You would be talking Javi Baez, Eloy Jimenez, Ian Happ, maybe all together.
And I wouldn't do it.
That would not be possible.
Would you rather have Quintana or Cole?
I'd rather have Jose Quintana.
So would I.
Better deal.
He's healthier.
Yeah.
Right? Cole's had a lot of health issues early on in his career. Yu Darvish, this is a rental.
I love Yu Darvish.
What would you pay for him?
I don't think I would trade for him yet. I would sign him once the Cubs don't re-sign Jake Arrieta.
Oh, so off-season guy.
Yes.
Would you trade Javi Baez, Dylan Cease, and another top 15 prospect for a rental, Yu Darvish?
If I was guaranteed a new contract, yes. But for a 1-year rental, no way.
Okay. Johnny Cueto, another rental.
He's so intriguing as a pitcher. I saw what he did in that game 1 of the NLDS and fell in love with the stuff. But again, we're dealing with a rental, and I don't really want to pay that to a potential rival.
To win another World Series, though? I mean, you probably felt the same way about Chapman last year, didn't you? I mean, if Javi Baez is the main guy and you're giving up Cease for one of those two guys, I might do it.
Javi Baez and Dylan Cease for 1 year of Yu Darvish or Johnny
for
Cueto.
half a year. Half a year in the postseason.
That's still really.
And you're not getting the compensatory draft pick too, right? Out of those guys.
Yeah, but I mean, they're not. It's not first round draft pick anymore.
Right, you're not getting that anymore. That's not part of it. So that's where it gets difficult. But it did work with Chapman last year. Irvin Santana.
He's having a good start, but I don't think it's.
I think he's in that Hellickson group.
Yeah,
if not lower,
it's not sustainable.
Yeah,
it's just not sustainable. What
he's
Irvin
gotten a lot
Santana's
of luck.
doing. Yeah.
Jason Vargas, kind of in the same way. That's another name thrown out here. Sonny Gray.
The Cubs have always seemed connected with
that
either
name
Rays
comes
pitchers
up,
or Sonny Gray. And
Sonny Gray and Alex Cobb are the next two names. Put them together. They're injured a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like their potential is way higher than, like, everyone talks about their potential, but we've never really seen it. Sonny Gray had 1 good year. Alex Cobb had like half a good year, but then they've been injured ever since.
Yeah, it seems definitely like a swimsuit model on the SI cover. Sure, she's beautiful, but there's a lot of Photoshop on there on that SI cover. And I don't really trust them to stay healthy the entire season or to give up that big of a package for them.
Marco Estrada, former Brewer, now with the Toronto Blue Jays.
I mean,
that's going to take a lot of scouting because he's always had that potential, and now he seems to be putting it together in Toronto.
I mean, I would prefer giving up a humongous package for Marcus Stroman instead of Marco Estrada.
Yeah.
I think that's a name that Cubs should be looking at.
Zach Greinke.
I mean, the package wouldn't be as high, and the Cubs have money.
They'd be eating that contract.
Mm-hmm.
You do have money. If they ate half the contract, I'd start talking.
I love that deal right there. Zach Greinke might be the new guy that I want the Cubs to get. I know he struggled last year, but he's gotten some of that back this year, and he has yet to work with Chris Bosio, who's well known as one of the top pitching coaches in Major League Baseball. So he's definitely a guy that I would look at. Cubs have a lot of money.
He's had a nice bounce back year. I mean, last year was kind of the worst case scenario for Zach Greinke, who's taking up a third of the Arizona Diamondbacks payroll. He's on a 6-year, $206.5 million deal.
Yeah, Arizona doesn't pay that.
He's going to make 34. He's making 34 this year, 34 the next year, 34.5, 35, 35. So that's what? I mean, 5 years, $170 million. So if you got the last 5 years at $100 million, and you're giving up maybe 2 top 20 prospects,
do it.
It's interesting.
Because if you do that,
I mean, that's a long-term contract.
The Cubs are going to have that money coming in from the new TV network that they're going to build after all these sub-channel deals are done.
I think you bought into it more than I am. Because Ricky's a little older too.
Who would you go after if you were the Cubs?
Well, here's the interesting name I want to throw at you: Matt Harvey.
Are the Mets done with him?
It's a buy low opportunity, right?
Yeah.
And if you're the Mets, I don't know if I sell him because you're not getting anything for him.
No.
And he could bounce back a little bit. I mean, he's had a little bad luck so far, but the off the field concerns or the personality concerns, I guess, are there. But if you can buy him really low, I'd absolutely take a chance at him.
Theo has not really had a problem dealing with those type of characters.
No.
Look at Manny Ramirez, David Ortiz, even to a certain extent. Aroldis Chapman the past year.
Yeah, you know who I love out of this group?
Who?
It's Cueto.
Yeah.
I think Cueto makes a lot of sense. Baez seems like a San Francisco Giant. I think you just add a couple more pieces to that for a rental.
Flashy defense like Brandon Crawford.
Cueto's been there.
Mm-hmm.
He's been there. He's performed at that level with the Royals. Did it last year with the Giants against the Cubs. I think he makes a lot of sense here. And they always seem to they're not afraid of the rental for these teams. I mean, this is what you built this whole thing up. So I don't think they're going to sit there and go, man, Javi Baez is cheap the next 3 years. They did the same thing with Soler. Now, Baez is more proven.
Yeah.
I just don't know if they love Javi Baez. I mean, they didn't pick him, right?
No, he's the lone Hendry guy right now besides Wilson Contreras.
Right.
And Wilson has shown what he can do a lot more than Javi has.
I mean, they picked Zobrist. They picked Happ. There's an extra guy there.
Mm-hmm.
If that person can lead you to give you an ace to add to Lester, move down Arrieta's spot so he's more your solid third starter, boy. But the Giants got to lose some games. You got to help them out because the Giants
they've won 5 straight with their revamped rotation,
which is good for the White Sox. We need the Rangers and the Giants to keep winning because then Jose Quintana's market value goes way up.
You need a buyer's market.
Yeah. Thank you, Austin, for that. I wanted to get a Cubs fans' perspective on that. When we come back, you'll hear a little bit from Mike Small, joined us earlier on in the Tay and J Show, talking about Illinois' great comeback today to finish third in their NCAA regional and advance to their 10th straight NCAA championship. Hear a little bit from the best coach in college golf next on the Tay and J Show.
Going on 5 years, Rock's Place in St. Joseph has become the neighborhood sports bar and grill for a lot of folks in the area. Rock's Place is known for their delicious burgers, and they also have great daily food and drink specials. Plus, Rock's has plenty of TVs, so you can keep tabs on the Cubs and Cardinals all summer long. And while you're there, press your luck on one of Melody Music's video gaming machines. For delicious food, cold drinks, and good company, make it Rock's Place, 101 North Main Street in St. Joseph. Find them on Facebook, ROCHS in St. Joseph.
Get new carpet for less during the National Flooring Extravaganza, going on now at Flooring Surfaces in Champaign. Soft and luxurious carpets are on sale with a free upgrade to Stainmaster Plus Deluxe Carpet Cushion. In fact, get a free padding upgrade with every style made from premium Infinity Nylon, Anso Nylon, or Stainmaster Nylon. And Flooring Surfaces can measure, design, and offer professional installation service for any size project. So get your new carpet now at Flooring Surfaces during the National Flooring Extravaganza, 401 East Mercury Drive in Champaign.
Willow Pond Golf Course in Rantoul is the most improved in Central Illinois. They had a great preseason, and all this month they're celebrating you with great customer appreciation rates. Play around Monday through Friday for just $25, and seniors get a low rate of just $20. Golf Saturday and Sunday for just $30, and all packages include a cart. Enjoy their full-service bar and grill, the 19th hole, serving up great food and drinks, plus live video gaming and the full swing simulator. Schedule a tee time, 893-9000 or willowpondgolf.com.
The key to success? Keep it simple, especially when it comes to hiring. And nobody makes it easier than Indeed.com. Post a job in minutes. Set up screener questions. Manage your candidates from one dashboard. According to an independent study, 5 times more hires are made through Indeed than any other job site. New users claim your $50 credit to post a sponsored job at Indeed.com/credit. Indeed, the world's #1 job site. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
Protect your future with AA Marshall Home Inspection Services. Buyer's inspection with a buyback guarantee and seller's inspection. No surprises before closing. Owned by me, Aaron Allenbaugh, and my wife Kim, and serving all of East Central Illinois. Get more details and schedule your inspection today at aamarshall.net.
Coach Mike Ditka is not just talking sports. What will he say next? Hear him here Monday and Friday mornings from 7:30 to 8 with Brother Johnny and me, Stevie J, on ESPN Radio 93.5.
It is Tay and J Show, ESPN Radio 93.5. Jeremy Warner, Lante got out of here a little early, but he did a lot of work today. He did. He actually did. He was at the West Lafayette Regional watching Illinois golf and watched that great comeback today. They shoot 6 over, the best team score today, and they moved way up. They were about 6 strokes back of 5th place, and the top 5 teams advanced to the NCAA championships. They went all the way up to 3rd by the end of the day as Florida faltered, free fall actually, and then some other teams fell. Purdue barely held on, but there are a lot of teams shooting some high scores today with some blustery, windy conditions. Same we're having here in Champaign-Urbana. We got a bunch of dust storms going on out there. But Mike Small, Illini golf coach, the best in the business, kind enough to join us earlier, talking about that end stretch run where Illinois turned it around.
It was weird. Those last few holes on that golf course could do it for you, or do it to you, and you knew that. We had talked about it, and I've seen it before, and then when you factor in 40-mile-an-hour gusts and constant 25-mile-an-hour winds, some of these teams haven't seen that before. And you just can't lose the faith. It looked like we did. It felt like we did a couple times today. I kind of got a little frustrated at times when guys really got a little somber and started feeling sorry for themselves a little bit. So you got to kind of get back to what we do and remind them of what we're all about. And they're on 15. I mean, the message on 15, Nick got it on 14, the rest of them got it on 15, is that everybody had to play 1 under on the way out.
Wow.
It was a tall task, but that was the goal. That was okay. As a coach, you learn that if you put little things like that in there and start, little goals within the game, they forget about what's happened already and they focus on what they have to do. They're not sitting there still feeling sorry for themselves about the bad day they've had or some bad holes. And to be honest with you, it wasn't looking very good. You're right. But you know how that course finishes, and if we could put a push on and put some pressure, you never know. And if we all had played 1 under, which was almost nearly impossible, but it's a goal you put out in front of them. Dylan did, and Dylan he perked right up, and he saw a reachable goal that he'd been struggling all day and not playing very well, but he put a little goal in front of him. He wanted to grab it, and it helped.
Coach Lon was there, and he saw you go up to Dylan. And I'm wondering, when you go up to him or any other golfer, can you explain how you know what to say?
Yeah, good call.
And how do you figure that all out? How do you know what to say? And obviously it turned him around because he was struggling this tournament, and he's a guy you need to count on every time. So how did you know what to say to Dylan in that moment?
Well, you hope you're saying the right things. You never really know, but that's the art of coaching golf, and it's like being a caddy on tour, or it's like being an instructor. At certain times, you got to know your personnel, you got to know your people, and you got to know what makes them tick, and what gets them in the level, emotional level they play their best at. And I tell people that's my biggest job at a tournament, is to get our guys individually playing in their best emotional level. Sometimes you got to bring guys down with a hug and kind of console them a little bit, get them back to where they need to be. Sometimes you got to be forceful and borderline yell at them, and sometimes you have to make them feel small and do things. There's different tricks. There's different, not really tricks, I should say. There's different tactics to use to get our guys to play the best in their emotional level, and these young players are learning that. The thing the pros do the best is they know how to do that a lot themselves. They learn about themselves. They grow up, and they've had a lot of experiences. These young guys are learning that. So my job is to roam and touch as many guys differently for short bursts of time as I can to gauge their emotional level, to gauge where they're at, and then adjust them accordingly. But if they're doing great, like Nick today, Nick didn't need much. He was in it from the day from the minute we started. In the Big Ten, Dylan was there too. So at certain times, so when the guys are playing well, you let them be and let them do their job. But if you need to make an adjustment, you find them, you seek them out, you see where they're at, and you go try to impose your will a little bit.
Talking with Illini golf coach Mike Small, advances to his 10th straight NCAA championships. Congratulations for that, Coach. But, Dylan has been so great for you, and the Big Ten championships was another. He didn't seem himself most of this weekend. What did you see out of Dylan that maybe needs to get corrected before you get to the big one in a week and a half?
Well, fundamentally and physically, he's not far off. We'll work on some things the next few days. But what people don't know about Dylan right now is he didn't play golf for 2 weeks after the Big Ten championship. The day before the regionals was the first round of golf he had played since he won the Big Ten championship. He was sick and has got some health issues and fought through it to win a Big Ten championship. Was very strong and very it was a Herculean effort by him to do that at Big Ten. And then we spent the last 2 weeks trying to get him ready and trying to get him healthy, and he shows up the day before, or actually the day we leave. This is the first day he played golf. So he was under the weather, fought as hard as he could. He had some flashes of good play, but he was a little tired, a little worn out, and out of sorts, if you will. So it was up to the team to hold him up and return the favor that he did for us most of the year.
Well, and he needed to lose some weight. So, I mean, let's be honest here, right?
He lost weight. Yeah, he lost a lot.
I mean, it's unreal that that kid can do what he does like that. Talk a little bit about Giovanni and also Lipparelli. It was one of those, as I was following those guys around, I kind of made note to just follow Dylan and let's get him rolling, right? Not that I'm the guy doing it, but I'm like, if this is going to turn, I want to see him do it. But, you look back and Lipparelli and Giovanni, I mean, they're making putts. They're playing solid. And for guys that are freshmen and sophomore, for them to step up and do that today, Coach, that's huge.
Oh, it was huge. It was huge, but we expect that, and we encourage that, and that's something that each man has to take care of, do his job, and be accountable. And say Giovanni's improved so much this spring. A lot of people have noticed that. I've seen it day to day, every day, get a little better, and his mind and emotional level and his maturity on the golf course and confidence has gone through the roof. And he had some shots today that I've never seen anybody hit before. I mean, he had 270 yards into the green on 16, a par 5, into that wind, and flew 3-wood in the middle of the green and made birdie. Almost, had a chance for eagle. I mean, he's hit shots that I haven't seen anybody hit in my program. So the talent level's there. He's just got to get acclimated and learn how this whole thing works and become more of a polished player. And Eduardo's doing that too. Eduardo's on a routine for a sophomore at his level. He's had decent freshman year. He's had flashes of brilliance this year. We still need to work on his consistency, but for him to come through today and shoot 3 over on that golf course in those conditions, he bogeyed last 2 holes. He still played awfully strong all day and made a couple of birdies there at the end for us. And I mean, those guys were huge, and obviously Nick was the star of the day. But even like Michael Fiegel's had a poor tournament. He's been our number 3 man really most of the spring, Big Ten freshman of the year. He didn't really help us at all, but the team held him up, and that's what we do for each other. That's what good teams have to do.
Great stuff, as always, with Mike Small. It's been great to follow what they've been doing ever since we started the show. What a run it's been, and it's not over. Great team this year. They got a great chance to advance to another NCAA championship match play with this kind of talent. If they put it all together, this team's capable of anything. So great stuff from Mike Small. Tomorrow we will have the entire Illini golf team in the Tay and J studios. Looking forward to that. Thanks to our guest today. We heard from Mike Small. Dan Hartwell, Illini baseball coach, joined us as well. Thanks to Harry Black. Thanks to Austin Birkeland. If you missed any of the show, get our podcast at espncu.com or find us in iTunes. Just search Tay and J Show. We'll see you tomorrow. It's Tay and J Show.
Hi, it's Corey with Max Twin City Recycling. We pride ourselves on giving the area an outlet to recycle and get paid for their unwanted metals. We're taking our community focus a step further with our Recycling for a Cause program. Each month, Max Twin City will choose a different local charity to feature in an effort to raise money for those causes. Visit maxrecycling.com for a complete list of program details.
The key to success? Keep it simple, especially when it comes to hiring. And nobody makes it easier than Indeed.com. Post a job in minutes. Set up screener questions. Manage your candidates from one dashboard. According to an independent study, 5 times more hires are made through Indeed than any other job site. New users claim your $50 credit to post a sponsored job at Indeed.com/credit. Indeed, the world's #1 job site. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
Hi, I'm Damon Hackelman, owner of CleanRite in Champaign. If you're looking for a trusted restoration service company, just look for the guys in the blue trucks. At CleanRite, we understand that life happens, and we're ready to help. Our experienced service technicians will provide you with not only a quick response, but also honest answers and advice. For water, fire, smoke, or mold restoration, we're there when you need us. Call CleanRite today at 351-4930. That's 351-4930. Or just Google CleanRite Champaign.
You already know Houlihan's Restaurant and Bar at the iHotel is a great restaurant, but don't forget about the bar. Fantastic drink specials and mouth-watering menu items from snacks to full meals, a nice selection of draft, craft, and domestic beers, and just about any cocktail you can imagine. Watch a game with multiple flat screens on all sides of the bar, or grab some tables and make it a party. Drink specials daily, plus Houlihan's is now serving a delicious hot breakfast 7 days a week. Houlihan's at the iHotel. Check them out at the corner of 1st Street and St. Mary's Road, just south of the State Farm Center.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.